Alright. So, here we are. June 22nd. Beautiful day in Street Fighter Land. Let me look over these tournament results over the weekend real fast, give you guys a quick recap. I think you know that Devastation was a huge tournament. You probably got to see a little bit of that from your home, but we had a few other small tournaments. Raging Storm 2009, Dark Geese KOF tournament. Looks like Dark Geese won all of those. Okay, whatever. Wow, I can't even read this post. It's in too many colors. But what you want to take away from that is Dark Geese is still holding down his SNK scene over there in Phoenix, Arizona. In Philadelphia, we had a Street Fighter 4 tournament with about 33 people. That was run by Philly One. He's a Kami player who made a lot of noise at the East Coast Throwdown tournament, and you guys should check out some videos if you can find them. He's a really smart player, really thoughtful, and he just kind of goes for his solid mix-ups. Anyway, winner of that tournament was Chris Hu. That's Chinatown Fair Ryu. Well, they call him the tester because he apparently was doing all the Ryu combos before anybody knew anything about the game. And they say the East Coast can't play Shotos. I really like Chris Hu. You guys need to check out Chris Hu because I think he's, I'm not going to say he's, he's Valle, and he's certainly not Choi, but he's Chris Hu. Yeah. Well, Issei wins a Third Strike tournament. Team tournament with KO Fiend, who I was wondering what was happening in KO Fiend. KO Fiend seems to be in retirement. No, he didn't win with KO Fiend. KO Fiend got second place with Yang, and and his partner was Yang. They allowed that? Wow. Okay, Yang gets second place and dies to Yun and Ken, and that's Issei's Yun. You guys might remember Issei from top 8 EVO placing. I don't remember who won that year. It's Third Strike, I'm sorry. There's a huge tournament in Canada the same time that Devastation was going on. This tournament was actually streamed at the same time. I think it had over 90 people in Canada. Over the border. The other border, eh? 90 people, top 3 of that tournament was JS Master with Balrog. Gurjay, the Marvel player, was Sagat and Dalsum, and Chaos 2D, someone who I've never heard of. Now, JS Master, Eric Liu, he is definitely a force to be reckoned with. He's a top player, going all the way back to maybe East Coast, ECC, East Coast Championships 2003, maybe. This kid came down, and he was maybe 14 years old, playing the A-Team, A-Bison, and he opened up cans of paint on everybody, as if he just went to Duron or something. Anyway, he's really good. He apparently won this 90-man tournament, probably with little trouble. But this was the side of Canada where Prez is not, and I'm sure that he and his turtle skills would have a question or two for JS Masters Balrog. I guess a good showing from Gurjay, the Marvel player, able to make a transition to Street Fighter 4. Pick a character like Dalsum, he's probably able to, fly around the screen a little bit, bring back some of that Marvel energy, and then just pick Sagat, who's the sentinel of the game, and just bong people over the head until they're dead. Big tournament there, 97 people, I think. Great. We had another team. Got a caller. Hey. Hey, Brandon, how's it going?
Oh, yeah. What's up?
This is Havoc, everybody.
Yo.
Say hi to the people, Havoc.
The people. Hello.
We do it for the people.
Yo.
Like Common.
Yo, like I'm upset. I just sat on my phone. The screen cracked.
Oh yeah.
I'm on Ski Sonic status right now.
Yeah. You don't want to talk about the phone troubles, people. I don't have a phone now, and I almost fucking never have a phone. And It's kind of a long story. You guys definitely don't want to hear it. Just a second, I'm having some trouble with Skype here. It's a long story about why I don't have a phone, but I don't have one.
Hello?
Yeah, this is Brandon, right?
Yeah.
Adam, I have to hang up on you. I'm gonna try to call you from my account now. This is live radio, people. This is live radio. Bear with me, yo. It's live, dog. I'm not experienced with this part of it. Oh, I think this is what we got to do. Oh, I see what we got to do here. Yeah, we're going to have a conference call just like I'm at work.
There you go.
Yeah, everybody in on the...
That looks about right.
That looks like how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that looks about right.
Live radio, people.
Hello.
Hey, we got him.
There you go.
We got him. It's live on well, no, I'm just kidding. It's 3 live.
Okay. I'm here. I'm going to hit mute and let you guys do your thing until I have something funny to say.
Alright, well. We were just catching up with each other, saying how you doing. I think I'm almost done with these tournament results. Just giving a quick little recap. It looks like those are the biggest ones of the weekend, except for, of course, Devastation. You guys probably saw this from your homes if you're listening to this. It was live streamed by DJ Wheat and his team of people.
You know how many users are watching this?
Do I know how many users I had watching? What?
You know how many people they had watching the Devastation stream total?
I believe they had over 9,000?
Over 9,000. No. Yeah, it was actually
God.
pretty close to 9,000. They had it streaming on 3 different sites, and they said they had 4,000 on one, 3,000 on another, and another 1,000 on the third. So that's a lot of people.
Yeah. Over 9,000. Okay. That's impressive. And you know, a lot of those people were Shoryuken people, but a lot of those people, as Ponder made the point so eloquently tonight, were a bunch of new people. That are just getting back into the Street Fighter game after they've played, maybe Super Turbo back in the day at the laundromat, or Hyper Fighting at the 7-Eleven while they sold drugs outside the 7-Eleven, or something, I'm sure there's a few stories like that of people that are just picking up the old, the taped hands, the taped fists like Sagat, throwing out the fireballs. So, I don't know what I was talking about. Devastation. Tournament had over 9,000 people watching. I don't know how many people were in the tournament, but
140, I think was the number.
140 for Street Fighter. That's pretty good. That's pretty big.
Yeah.
It's not huge for Street Fighter 4 in terms of huge Street Fighter 4 tournaments, but that's definitely very large. A rung under huge, unquestionably. Arguably huge.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people were at Final Round. I think that was the biggest one so far.
Midwest Championships turnout was disappointing as well.
Well, it's Midwest Championships.
Actually, hold on one second here.
That's really big. How many people did that have? How many people were at?
87.
87? That's more people than came to Midwest the last 3 years put together. Seriously.
In 2000, I know we had over 90 for Tekken. So, I don't know. 87 for Street Fighter 4 is pretty disappointing.
Yeah, well, y'all need to do whatever the people in the South do, because everybody and their damn mama come to Final Round. They will walk to Final Round barefoot across.
I think it's the timing.
Across
you know, other
bayou,
major
dog.
events around that.
Well, what other major events are there around Around mid. Well, I guess there was Devastation. Devastation this year probably put a big old dent in Midwest. Now that you mention it, maybe I wasn't supposed to say that like that, huh?
They probably did, but I'm sure it wasn't like intentional. I'm sure it's just kind of bad timing on everyone's part.
Right. Well, before I get into Devastation, I want to give love to one more tournament. Apparently this was in like Brooklyn or something. Arturo Sanchez won with his Sim and Seth, and the second place guy was some dude. And third place was Eric Smooth Viper. I think a problem with this tournament is that this tournament was advertised as a $500 guaranteed prize. I'm giving this a quick scan, and there was a laggy TV and a laggy projector which didn't have all the characters, and your typical
Holy shit.
Your typical shit garbage tournament. 18 people paid different amounts of money. Blah 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 blah. Winner gets. I can't even find what the fucking winner got in this piece of shit thread, but it probably wasn't $500. So.
It was $180.
$180. That's a far cry from $500. So don't go to any shit garbage tournament in the name. We don't have a link to it in the thread. You're fucking up here, Arturo. You want us to shit on the tournament. You don't. Maybe you didn't want to give any burn to the website of the scamming scammers. But, if you go to a tournament. Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry. I can't see it. It's NY. I can't pronounce that word. It's PWND. NYPWND.com. I don't know how to pronounce that word. NYPWND.com. That's the tournament of the scammers. So don't go to NYPWND because Furby got owned. And speaking of scamming tournaments, back to Devastation. Oh, they had buybacks in the losers. Damn, y'all really did get owned. I'm sorry for
buybacks for $5.
Wow, buybacks for $5. Good shit.
I like that.
Can we get a little more of that money before you're out of here? Thanks. Alright, watch out for NW owned or you'll get owned. Anyway, back to Devastation. Brief aside, scamming tournaments there. BlazBlue tournament at Devastation. I don't know who was really behind running this or whatever, but the BlazBlue tournament, essentially it didn't happen. And no, Marnito did not have anything to do with the tournament. For anybody who's asking already, no.
That's also funny.
I know it's tempting, but I don't even think he was probably in it, so no. However, tournament didn't happen. Maybe 18 people paid their entry fees. The game was halted. It didn't start until maybe 7:30 of the first day. They were thrown out at 9:30, so maybe 10 games of the first round are played. On the second day, the people who have the BlazBlue setups unfortunately didn't show up. So there was supposed to be not only a singles tournament but a 2v2, and what they ended up with was 10 matches of a 1v1 tournament and all these people who paid their entry fee and no tournament. That's too bad for BlazBlue and the community, but I'm sure that it wasn't anything intentional on the parts of the Devastation organizers. I don't know who was running the BlazBlue tournament, but I did hear that one of those people with the setups was trying to get back, but he didn't get to make it. So maybe that'll be rectified at some point in the future, but BlazBlue is coming out soon on console, so maybe people will get to take it out on people online. Get to play them on some Xbox Live. Anyway, Devastation. I think the big story of this tournament was Justin Wong trying to get the quadruple crown at this tournament, so to speak, going for 4 titles. The half of Michael Phelps. What is that? The half of Phelps? Did he go for 8? I don't know, 10, 12? How many did Michael Phelps get? Like 60?
I don't know, but I'd buy a
Yo.
Wheaties box with Justin on it.
I don't know.
I'd have my girlfriend Photoshop that real quick.
Yeah, do it. We can put that on the website.
Okay, she just heard you say that, so she's probably going to start doing that. She's working on custom ties for EVO.
Thanks. What is it, Miko? Meko?
Yeah. She's going to have some for sale this year, actually.
Oh, dibs first, please. Thank you.
Okay. Will you ask the people for me what kind of characters they would want on a tie? Because she's going to do a screen printing thing where she does the design on a fabric screen that's reusable a few times. So she can do a few copies of each. The thing is, though, that if she spends a lot of time making a design, it's got to be, a character that people are going to want, not something that I would want. So, like, if I get fucking Ken the Eagle and Ryu on a tie for TVC, nobody's
Yeah, that'd
going to
be
buy
really
that.
gay.
I'd look sweet, but no one would buy it. So I don't know. Ask what do you guys want out there in the chat room? What kind of character would you want on a really slick-looking dress shirt and a tie?
This is actually true. I don't know if you guys saw Keits last year at Evolution, but I'm sure there's some pictures around of him rocking these really nice ties that were made.
She's already put together Akuma and Bison for this year.
So you guys can get your hands on some cool, really nice Akuma, Bison, or Ryu ties that are handmade, hand-drawn, and fucking totally sweet. So if you check them out, maybe Keits can link you guys to some pictures on AlphaISM Radio in the IRC channel.
Yeah, I'll get them. Hang on.
And he'll show you an example of these really nice ties. And if you guys want to let Keits know somehow, maybe just shoot him a private message on sharyukin.com, because he's always open to that. Blow up his inbox. They're really nice ties. I'm not just saying this because he's on the show. I would like to have one of those ties, and you probably would too. I mean, if you could have that sense of style. I know Havoc, Brandon would not want that tie, but
the price should be lower too, because
they're
the
not
method to make them.
Right. Yeah, they're probably kind of wait, how much are they? They're going to be expensive, people.
We don't have a price yet.
We don't have a price, sorry.
Once we're hand-drawn, we're going to be somewhere around $80, but there's a lot less work going into each individual tie this time. So probably going to be closer to $35, $40. But I'll get you a final price once we figure that out.
All right. So if you have a slightly nerdy sense of humor and some money to kill, I know that sounds specific, but it definitely describes a large portion of you and myself. So get some ties sold at EVO on the down low, because we don't got those permits. Hello?
Hi, how you doing?
Oh, okay, cool. I don't know.
Did you think you went off the air or something?
I did. It's kind of eerie just doing this by myself. Yeah.
Yo, I'm kind of quiet now. I'm on the phone with Eric Kim. I had to make sure my phone was working, so I'll be back.
Okay.
We keep talking.
We got that. Yeah. Well, sweet. So a quick recap of Devastation. HD Remix, John Choi. Finals was John Choi versus Watson. Choi, Watson, Balrog, mirrors, raw, punch, raw, grab, raw, uppercut, raw, grab. That was really fast. Watson wins the first set. Choi goes to Ryu. Watson also goes to Ryu. Hadouken, Shoryuken, Hadouken, kick, punch, throw. Choi wins. It was great. You had to be there. There's videos. Check it out. What else was there? Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Justin Wong. All I saw was the finals. Pretty out of shape Justin Wong versus a pretty out of shape Chunksta. Justin Wong won pretty free, but Chunksta of 2 years ago would have won some of those fights, but Justin Wong of 2 years ago probably wouldn't have been in those same situations, blah, 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 blah. There were some missed opportunities that old Chunksta would have just capitalized on. He had a chance to get an unblockable on Sentinel or on Capcom after he landed a Storm Sentinel DAC, one of those ones where he loses a lot of life, but he just gets to get Sentinel in there and then get to just try to rape the rest of the team when he's low on life, but he didn't go for the unblockable. He went for some crazy fucking flight reset. Get the fuck out of here, just says Justin Wong, you know. Comes back in that one. Justin Wong takes that one pretty free. Another crown for the Don Dada. Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, similar situation. Justin versus Marnito. Marnito goes for the Kairos Ryu combination. Mind you, Marn's Ryu is garbage.
I was telling him that today. I didn't use the word garbage, but I told him his Ryu really needs some work.
We would say shit garbage, or at least garbage.
His Ryu was not good.
We would say shit garbage, and then he would get pissed, and we'd be like, all right, but at least it's garbage, right? And, you know, real talk. You know?
I was trying to give him some good advice, but I don't know. You don't know if he's going to listen to you or not.
Well, what the fucking... He doesn't care, man. He doesn't play TVC, but that's besides the point. I don't know why you wouldn't just go with your real team. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's definitely a better assist. Wait, go ahead. What?
Neither Justin or Marn really play TVC. They just play it at tournaments. They still beat because they're just, they're strong players. They have strong execution and fundamentals. But like, TVC doesn't look that boring when people who are passionate about it play it. There's some creative shit in that game. It's crazy.
Yeah, like, we're gonna get to that, but what we saw here was Marn. I think he should have just picked his damn character. Even though his Morrigan's probably not that good, I think he had enough rounds to try to figure out the hot shit, and he can definitely land that infinite with Morrigan. And that would have given him a lot more comeback power, and his Ryu wasn't even landing combos. But maybe, he just wanted to do something simple. Maybe he was so out of practice with Morrigan, something like that. But Justin really put on quite a show with Jun, putting on like another blocking exhibition versus Marn's strong Kairos rushdown. But Justin played that really simple OG game that he played before, where he would just avoid Kairos' attacks and then jump really high, call Chun-Li assist, and just jump around and then try to cross him up with it and try to get a combo off of it. That's a really solid strategy. That strategy,
I actually talked to Justin about that strategy particularly, and I said, why don't you switch to Ken instead of Jun? Because Ken can get above super jump heights without super jumping, so he can call assists from up there. And he's just like, I hate Ken's jump. And I was like, I agree. It's why I don't play him too, but he's godlike.
Yeah, so yeah, that is one of those strategies that we're seeing from those Japanese videos. Whereas, we're really not seeing a lot of Kairos coming out of there now, right? Keits?
Well, there are a lot of Karis players still, but Karis is extremely, extremely good at mid levels. But at high levels, he's not good. He's still the best in the game. But people have learned how to fight him because he's so common. And a lot of fighting him has to do with basically running away. So you see a lot of the runaway teams having a lot of success against him. And he has a couple bad matchups, believe it or not. I think Rock Volnut actually rapes Karis pretty badly.
Really? Why is that?
And you can't attack Rockman if he has one level, because he will push block and do his machine gun super, and it's like one frame, and it's super safe even if you do get to block it. And then he can keep you away super easily. There aren't any good Rock players in the United States. It's unfortunate. He can do machine gun, and he can cancel the layout of that into his weapon switch. So it's so hard to get in on him, and Karis doesn't have anything great to help him get in on that. He can throw out reflectors, but there are already more projectiles following Rockman projectiles.
And he's got that low-ass life where he gets hit once and he dies anyway, yeah?
Exactly. And if Rockman ever hits you with his super, even if you block it, the machine gun super, he gets to charge up a full Mega Buster during that, and that's like a level 1 super in and of itself. He's a dangerous character. He's just complicated, so no one here is playing him.
Wow, that sounds a lot better. What just happened?
I don't know.
My mic does that shit sometimes, and I hit mute, and then it stopped. I don't know.
Yeah, that shit sounded like the aliens were about to come out, yo. Like, yo, we're like, they're in the corner behind you. Alright, anyway. So yeah, we got Rock Walnuts, strong matchup against Kairos. So yeah, so what we were seeing there was really good play, but I guess it's important for people to know that there is some other diversity to the game. You know, we've seen a lot. Personally, I've seen a lot of TVC just in the last few weeks in the Japanese videos that I never thought was possible. And
Did you see that Western polymer shit?
Yeah, I saw that. That shit was ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. Like, this makes Marvel guard breaks look like child's play. I mean, it's easy to land than a Marvel guard break, and he will 100% you every time.
The only thing about that was that shit took like 4 meters to do the
it only took 3.
Alright, whatever. Yeah, so it definitely was. You know what's... yeah, this is really interesting what I'm seeing about TVC from these Japanese videos. It's developing more like Marvel than you would have thought, because it's like a character and an assist and not really a 2-character thing. You know, and it's kind of like Marvel where you got character, assist. These guys, in a lot of the cases, the assist, it plays a little bit more of a role. But there's really kind of like an 80-20 balance where the first guy is supposed to kill the next guy and then set up the DHC with the second guy just to kill you, you know? And the second guy is really not supposed to get into the fight. Are you seeing that?
I think I totally agree with most teams. I think one of the big problems with Marn's team specifically is he doesn't play Ryu. He plays Ryu as an assist and not as, you know, a character.
Yeah,
and
really, that's one of those teams where you
have to know both your characters. I asked Justin about his team too, and he said he loves Chun because Chun is a great comeback character. She can win on her own.
Yeah.
But she's got one of the better assists at the same time, especially.
Wow, dude. Dude, what is up with your mic? You're sounding kind of wonky here.
I'll go try and find my other mic and plug it in.
You should do that. So, right, yeah, saw a lot of interesting TVC teams. Like Keits mentioned, the Polymer and Kashurn team. This guy had Kashurn, and once he landed one hit, he busts out at the top of the screen. He lands one hit and carries his air combo all the way down into the ground. Calls an assist and is able to like continue the combo for like a good 50%. Then he lands another combo, kills him. Then he has 100% guard break set up just off of like call his assist and then do the fucking fist thing that Kashurn does. He charges up his fist, he grabs you, and that shit's unblockable, and he can combo off of it. And then he fucking does the Kashurn, the Polymer super that you can never combo into, because it's a level 1 super that has a super slow startup but does a ton of damage, so it's like super hard to combo into. But he's got this fucking inescapable setup for it where he does fucking Kashurn glowy unblockable fist into fucking DHC and the Polymer fucked up level 1 high damage super. You eat all that damage, and then he DHCs right back into Kashurn and gets his cash earned, yo, because it's straight for the money. That shit is 41,000 hit points right there, and you're done. Like, you know, like it's the Marvel DHC. You don't even see Polymer come in that fight, yo. It's that assist enables Kashurn to hit you up in the air, bring you down, and then continue that combo. And then he's throwing dogs on you and shit, and you can't do shit. Fucks you up. And then if he kills your character, yo, you know he was chilling building meter because you were running from him. Because he was chilling. You like, alright, watch, when I get you, you're fucked. And that's what he did. What was it? The Ronjo Mega Man team? Yo. Is Keits back?
I don't think so.
I'm worried about my mic.
Okay, well anyway, yo, the Ronjo Mega Man team, that shit was crazy too.
That shit's exactly like the Tekkaman Mega Man team. It's just Duranjo can be scarier than Tekkaman.
Yo, Duranjo, if you guys ever play TVC, you know it's a 4-button game, but Duranjo is the one character that you always think, maybe I should put this taunt on. It's the 5th button, right? And her taunt is actually an attack. Personally, I messed around with it a bit, and I could never really find a good combo for it. Check out this video. The dude has Duranjo loops inescapable resets because her grab assist grabs you like out of the air and you can't get out of it unless you burst, and then she can still keep the pressure on you by dropping.
And the combo damage resets.
Right, and then yeah, you reset the damage, and then if she hits you after that, you're fucked. So Yeah, the combo damage does reset when it grabs you. So she gets a lot of damage off of this combo. So the assist grabs you, and then her exploding tree blows you up, and she somehow loops it into the Mega Man drill or something, right? And then she dashes up and hits you with a taunt.
That's that air tag thing.
What?
She does that air tag thing.
In the assist? In the combo?
Yeah, when she does the air combo part at the end, she tags into Rockman, and she'll either drop you into her ball super, or she'll tag into Rockman and have him rejuggle into his super. But let me tell you what's really scary about Duranjo. She's got mix-ups, but they're kind of slow. The scary thing is that she can cover the screen with her little fake assists, and they all appear in front of her, which means you can't see what she's doing.
Uh-huh. That's scary.
Yeah, I finally got to play a good one. Karasa from St. Louis. Shout out to him. Like, if I hadn't gotten to play him in casuals a whole bunch, I would have had no chance against him in tournament.
Haha, you pulled one of them.
So he got a sandbag. Fuck that.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, shout out to STSFN.
Cool.
What's that? What's that, Adam?
Sorry, we ran TVC twice at Midwest Championships. We ran it on Friday with 14 people. We ran it again on Sunday with 4 people because people just wanted to do it Friday and we had scheduled it for Sunday. So the Sunday one where I beat Karasa was only $20.
Oh. Okay, well, that's enough about TVC. I do gotta get this thing moving on. So, third strike, yeah, guess who won that one? Justin Wong. And his team was Justin Wong, Ricky, and Emphy, signed to a 10-day contract at the Empire. 10-day contract, yo, we ballin' now. We literally ballin', hooping it up, yo. 10-day contract, yo.
I love that.
Yo. Emphy's down with the Empire, you know.
10-day contract for a 3-day event.
In Groove Radio. we signing 10-day contracts, yo. What's good?
Yo, here's my question. What is Emphy doing this week?
I know, right? Well, you know, he's getting little training sessions in with Wong and the others, you know what I'm saying? Probably, you know what I'm saying, you know, get out in the Tekken courts. You know what I'm saying? See how it's rolling. But yeah, second place in that tournament I think went to Kai Gutex and some other dude. Anyway, speaking of Emphy won T6 Bloodline Rebellion in brilliant fashion against the washed-up Canadian Mad Dog Jin. Don't get it twisted. Mad Dog Jin's really good, but he's still washed up. And Emphy's really good. Really impressive. Good shit. And the game, you know, everybody was waiting for, Street Fighter 4. Incredible tournament. A lot of good players. Dripe, you know? Dripe. It was drama and hype together.
Oh, okay.
It was at the same time because you had shit. Yeah, Hama.
Okay.
Straight up. You had. I don't know. My personal favorite highlight was Marn playing Abel because I don't know. I guess I thought his Abel was good. I mean, his Abel is good. He didn't even do any of his Abel things, but I thought that was such a bad idea. So disrespectful to a player like Flash Metroid that he's played, you know, dozens and dozens and dozens of times, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think this bodes well for the kid Marnito there. And Flash Metroid did destroy that Abel. And
yeah, I knew he was gonna lose when he picked Abel. I'm like, the fuck are you doing, man? Like, Marn's Abel, it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's cool, but like, come on, let's be real. Like, don't disrespect. It's not gonna work.
You ain't the real Abel. You know, put in some real time before you try to bust him out in a tournament thinking you know, you the real Bell.
Anyway. I mean, I'm not even talking like that. Like, it's whatever, but like, let's just be real. Let's just be real. It's not something you can just do like that against just any old person. Like, that's not how it works. Yeah. Like, they were showing like these scrub matches and shit. Like, you know, break it out then, but otherwise, like, chill.
Yeah.
That's not how it works. And by the way, Abel sucks.
Yeah, everybody should know that.
That's the main reason why you shouldn't just fuck around and just bring him out unless you're fully prepared, or unless you know your opponent is fully unprepared.
Uh,
Only two options.
Speaking of, bringing out the Abel, there was the Juice Box Abel, who was supposed to be scary. I mean, he was probably good, but we didn't get to see any of that on the stream. But what we did see was him get fucked up by John Choi.
Yeah, I mean, in his defense, and I don't like to defend, and I like to hate more than defend. But in his defense, he seemed to be, and I don't know this for a fact, but he seemed to be somebody who jumped on maybe at Street Fighter 4, or if not, might have maybe some third strike experience. I'm not really sure. He doesn't have experience in a game with footsies.
Yeah.
That was pretty obvious.
He ain't have no kind of solid. That was like...
Yeah, like there was nothing. There was nothing.
One of them will get through. Oh!
Yeah, like, if I jump one more time,
all I gotta do is get this one. Woo! Yeah. Alright, well, I mean, I can play like that, though. I play off Fuerte, so it's pretty sweet. I actually do have to just land one fucking jump in.
And also in Juice Box, in his defense, Abel Ryu was actually a really hard fight.
I was looking to give the guy an A+. But the Juice Box, man, he was like a high C at best. Juice Box. But,
oh God!
But
Slimer Green.
He's the Ecto Cooler, man.
That's what it was.
He's an Ecto Cooler.
Oh man, I'm mad you remember that.
Oh yeah.
Ecto Cooler.
It's cool though, I enjoyed the Ecto Coolers, but we gotta, you were just saying that, Abel's role, definitely an underutilized move.
No question.
It's one of those moves that's just fast enough to catch people slipping.
Hey, does this thing work?
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, good. Okay, I found my professional mic adapter for PC,
right,
so this should be a lot better.
Turn yourself down just a little bit. Just thanks.
Oh, it's too loud?
Oh, yeah. Just a little bit.
Okay, I got it. Thanks.
All right. Yeah. Fucking... Whew. Juice Box. Roll him up. Just roll him a little bit. It's somebody like Choi. You're playing somebody like Choi. He looks more solid than he is. I know that sounds crazy, but he will get flustered. It's just that when he gets flustered, it looks different than other people, because when he gets flustered, he just uppercuts you or combos you into an uppercut.
Choi loves the uppercut, and so if you're playing Abel, that should be your main focus, is to get the uppercut out and evade it and fuck him up for it. And so it's harder to do that against shittier players because you don't know when that shit's coming out. Whereas against Choi, and I'm sure it's definitely not easy to do this, but
easier said than done. We are fucking
obviously
quarterbacking,
easier said than done.
Side saddle quarter nut. All right.
Yeah, I'm definitely it's Monday, so yeah.
Right.
But I mean the whole game plan should be to work around getting that uppercut out of him and fucking him up for it. And if that's not, and obviously you might win, you might lose with that, but that should be the game plan. Whether or not you can implement it, whatever, but that should be the game plan. And sitting out and trying to wait him out, and no, that's not gonna work. Get in his shit, force the uppercut, try not to get hit by it.
Well, speaking of not getting hit by uppercuts, we had some really interesting turns of events in the tournament. We did have Mike Watson playing Gutex, which is kind of a dramatic KO. Yeah.
God.
It's
I would have liked to have seen that.
Oh man, I wish you had, because you just don't know, man. You just
I don't know because I didn't see it.
That shit was pretty free.
Wow. Gutex is a really good player, but he was not fucking ready for that shit, because this dude threw 60 fireballs like it was ST. He had Sagat. I never saw Watson play Sagat. I didn't know he played Sagat, but of course, it's Watson. Right, pick Sagat. He just did the classic footsie, like walk back fireball with a little button, make you think for a second. Oh, fireball! I thought you were thinking throwing a fireball. Now you're thinking about your thinking of fireball, bitch. And before you know it, you block like 5 of them motherfuckers, and you're flustered, you're angry, and then you go to jump in and you roundhouse that bitch. I don't even remember any Tiger uppercuts. He did like one wake up Tiger uppercut after he was about to get stunned.
The EX. The EX.
Wake up EX. After he was about to get
Yeah.
stunned. The one time Gutex got his momentum going in that fight, he got to work his little Gutex and get you in the corner, and I'm a boxer where I'm gonna sway in and grab you and fucking headbutt you and shit, and then another jab. And then he's really good at that shit, and he's really patient with the jump. He doesn't jump until like the 3rd or 4th rep every time. And when he does, they usually block. Mike Ross, he didn't block any of them. But other people usually just block, and then he gets to get in there for another, throw or tap throw or some shit. Personally, I like Martin's style a little bit better because he does throw in a little offensive maneuvers in there. He tries to get you with a focus and things like that. But Gutex's game is really solid, and Mike Watson wasn't having none of that shit. None of it. He didn't get around, and Gutex is good. What the fuck? I don't know. That was hot. Other hot matches include Combo Fiend versus
I
Bunkei.
gotta jump in real quick. I gotta say, and this is, obviously hating.
I think I know what's coming.
Is the cool thing to do right now. But it was good, and this is nothing against Ryan. But it was no, honestly, but it was good to see. Kind of like Watson just was talking shit beforehand. It was good to see hot SF4 nigga go down to OG shit, because that's my big gripe with the game, is that niggas think they're a little bit too hot, and not even on that level, just around just with the locals, and it's like niggas think they're a little bit too hot off of Scrub Fighter 4, and it's just good to see order restored in some way, shape, or form. That's that.
Yeah, well, it was very, very old school when he did what he did there, and I was very impressed with that, and I was really surprised that Ryan wasn't able to deal with it. And I was also equally surprised at how when Justin jumped up in there, he totally picked apart that old school shit that Watson tried to pull, Watson tried to do the same shit, but Justin was like, nope, saw that one coming, as the title says on Street Fighter 4. Like, he was dive kicking every throw attempt. The dude is trying to counter the throw. Watson, you gotta learn how to option tech. Everybody, option tech, remember that shit. You can tech out of the down back position. So you hold down back and you press jab and short when you think they're gonna throw, and you get a tech if they throw you, and if they don't, you get a short, which is pretty safe, unless they think that you're gonna be option teching and then they uppercut you. But most people aren't that bold, and if they are, then you deserve to get hit.
Unless of course you're able and you have like a 6-frame low short, then that shit still sucks.
Yeah, well, it still sucks for able, but you got an unthrowable grab anyway, which is faster.
1 frame faster.
But
yes.
But it's still not that bad, because you have a low short. You'll probably at least like trade, but if you don't, then you can probably combo off of it. That's what's powerful about it. See, it sucks for El Fuerte because he does a low short, and at best all he can do is like a low short, low forward, or a low short, low jab. Because I'm not burning my super off that shit. Fuck that. So.
Well, see, the problem with able shit is that his low short is so slow that if they throw you after you input your option select, you can actually still be thrown before your low short comes out.
Oh.
So it's actually a pretty worthless tactic to even try to mash crouch tech with him, because you don't get either of what you want. You either get your shit blocked, which is good, actually. Getting your shit blocked is good, but then for that, you might as well just hit low short. Or low jab, rather, because that's faster. But, yeah, if you're trying to tech, it pretty much never works.
Huh.
You're better off just teching normally
That's
and letting that shit rock.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, Justin went all over Watson in that shit. Like Watson got thrown like 7 out of 8 throws. He was not he was not seeing them coming, and he got bonged up. All those combos, he pretty much ate them. Scraped the plate. That was a good one. Bucktooth versus Combo Fiend. That was a good one.
See, that shit pissed me off. Like the match itself was great match. Like, and I guess we should talk about this first. Well, actually, let me not shift topics unless it's allowed. But watching that fucking stream was so annoying during that fight because the guy's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe Combo Fiend is losing to this guy," and I'm like, "This guy, it's like, this is one of the smartest motherfuckers in the country. Like, just because you started watching this shit last week and you have no idea who Buckshot is, like, come on, like, just shut the fuck up. Like, there needs to be some, and this is for anyone planning to do any live streaming. Get someone on there who knows what the fuck they're talking about. At least to help out with the commentary, because this shit is really annoying.
Yep. Yeah, but we don't want to shit on those guys too bad. I mean, we feel like we could do a better. I feel like I could do a better job. That's why I'm here right now. You know what I'm saying? So if you want me on that EVO stream, and I will break down the game to you like the fucking elements.
I'm pretty sure the man who can do that is calling in right now, from what I can see.
I'm trying to get a hold of that guy right now. Like the elements, nigga. Anyway, yeah. What we should really be talking about, is even though that was a great match and Bucktooth did a great job of reading Viper, Combo Fiend's Viper, what really sealed it for him is that he started to bait those EX seismos from Combo Fiend, and he would neutral jump straight up over them, and that's something that is really key, I think, in that fight. He didn't do it in the first fight or the second fight, and I was surprised, but he held off until the third one, and if you jump straight up, then Viper could still hit you with that, probably the Fierce Punch Thunder Knuckle, and maybe catch you with the Ultra, depending. But in the two. Oh, sorry. Hello, Joey.
Mike is hella nice.
Mike's hella nice.
Okay, I don't think that one went through. The thing about that is that if she does the EX Seismo, you do get a fierce, stand fierce, and then the slide kick. You don't get to do the full RSF combo, but you do get a sizable chunk of damage and stun right there. And he did that twice in that second fight, and that's, almost a stun right there. Other than that, it was really just a lot of back and forth, a lot of mix-up shenanigans going on. Not a lot. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know anyone else who would have actually understood the Forte Viper fight besides you. I think everyone else is just like, what the fuck's going on? And, hey, Campbell won. And you're like, she's going to do, like, no one knows what's happening.
Does Viper beat Forte?
Well, yeah.
I think that was the first time that fight has actually ever happened. So.
Well, I played Forte for a while as a main, and I always thought Viper was hard to beat. Even like rudimentary, crappy Vipers, I had a hard time with.
Well, I don't think that El Fuerte really beats anybody. So that being the case, I would say that Viper still beats him, but I would say it's one of those really, really closer to even matches, just because, like I said, that EX Seismo, if you read it right, then you can change the whole course of the match, and if she doesn't do that wake-up option, then she's vulnerable to throw with pretty much everything else she has, So she's got to do it at some point, and if you can put her on that option, that's what I try to do with a lot of those matches with him, is try to put it down to like one dumb option that the other guy has to do, and then just like guess it out. So if you can put him on that one, then you're good. Also, it's hard for her to seal the deal on him because she's always going to want to go for those full screen seismos to like maybe get you a little chipperoo, chip you down to nothing. But if you look and you're Fuerte you can pretty much alter that shit on reaction. So before the round ends, if she's trying to, get you with that BS, you can catch her from, most positions of the screen. So he's got a lot of shit versus her. But what we should really be talking about is Justin versus John Choi, because that was quite a match. First they played in the winners finals, and if you heard Justin earlier in the day, he said this after that match. He said, well, I wanted to switch to Abel, but I thought to myself, I'm on a live stream, and I got all these people watching, so I don't want to do it.
Justin is an idiot.
That's a bad decision.
I don't like, and I guess I can't say because he wins, obviously, but like he just has the fucking wackiest ideas when it comes to who he feels like playing at any given point in time. Like wacky shit.
Mm-hmm.
And
example, please.
Like playing Agroof Hamaru in EVO Top 8 CVS2 finals against anybody. Like
he played Iori last year too.
See Iori.
Yeah, that wasn't. See Iori.
Hello?
Hold up. Joey, turn off your radio, please. Or something. Your Skype thing. I mean, your Winamp.
Hello?
Yeah.
There we go. That's way better.
Oh no,
What's
it's
going on?
No, it's not. Joey, do you have some speakers that you can turn off?
It's just going to my cell phone.
Oh, maybe it's getting a loop from the speaker and the microphone being together. Can you take it off of speakerphone?
Hold on a second, let me try to figure out what's going on.
Alright, we'll just be waiting right here for you. I'm gonna see if I can mute you. Okay. Sweet! I love being in control! Bam! Oh man, y'all lucky that I wasn't hosting the shit before. I would have been muting niggas left and right. It would have been mutiny on the bounty, like, y'all, you can't hear me. Okay, anyway. Justin,
Okay.
he thinks that he can beat people with Abel. I don't think that that's necessary.
And there goes Wiz.
Yeah, well, he'll be back. Justin does have some wacky ideas, but it's funny. I don't know what it is, but he serves him. It serves him well in clutch times. So I've definitely been contemplating top players, and as I do in my spare time, and I think that this guy he lives in a world without logic. His world is not constrained by the borders of logic like mere mortals. So, what's simple to us, or what's illogical to us, is perfectly normal to him. That's just a theory. But what was pretty incredible was that he did stick to those Rufus guns for quite a bit of the tournament. Even though Choi had a damn good read on him in those first few fights, Justin would go for that dive kick and then the option mix-up where he goes the stand short throw, or just the wait after the dive kick and then throw, or then the stand short and then the fierce counter hit. Oh, we still got you echoing quite a bit.
Round 2. How's it sound?
It's cool except you're echoing still.
Is that echo still there?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
How about now?
I think it's gone. No, it's not.
No, it's still there.
What kind of phone do you have, Wizard? Oh, it's gone. No. Oh, is he still here? Are you still here, Joey?
I am still here.
I think it's gone. Testing.
Testing 1, 2.
Kind of getting that wind noise off of his mic like you get off of my PC's mic as well.
Yeah, we're getting just a small bit of echo, but it's all right. No, it's still there, definitely. What? Oh, Joey, can you go into your recording preferences and see if it's set on stereo mix, and if it's set on stereo mix, change it to microphone?
Alright, I'll look at that.
And thanks. I'm gonna mute you for a second, or you can just message me when you get that taken care of. So Justin will put that little triple option on people, and he's just such a good, reader of people. Such a smart, insightful dude, or whatever.
See, we got that Justin Wheaties box done for you.
Oh, Dewey, we got that Justin already? That's sweet. Yeah, him being such a just a smart player, so experienced, so able to abuse your weaknesses, that he was able to, just kind of throw when people were, got defensive. He's gonna throw you, and when he thinks you're gonna mash or whatever, he counter hits you or whatever, or he thinks you're gonna throw, and then he dive kicks again, or he'll do 2 dive kicks just to get you frozen, and then he knows what you're gonna do right then. Choi had none of that shit. Good fucking god. Choi's.
Are we at commercial?
No. Someone just. We're never in any commercials, man. It's all live all the time, baby. We ain't got no sponsors. Although I am drinking.
See a setting for microphone.
A fine glass of water, H2O. So if we could get sponsored by water, that'd be sweet. Yeah, I think that you're still echoing, which is fucking horrible. We're gonna have to figure that one out.
Joey, try hitting the mute microphone button on Skype when you're not talking.
Yeah, you can do
Kind of
like
at the bottom left. It's got a little slash through a mic.
a transmission.
Because if he's getting the feedback, if he mutes his mic when he's not talking, we shouldn't really hear much or any of that.
That's true.
I hear a robot.
You are a robot.
I love robots.
Oh shit, that's what Eric Kim just told me. He's like, oh, my phone is fucked up. I sound like fucking T-Pain.
Nice.
That's fun.
Okay. Hey, we are gonna. I think we're gonna try to move this Skype session.
What are we doing with the Skype session?
We're gonna have Bunk host the Skype session because he's here now, and then we can have Wizard call in on his cell phone.
Okay.
So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would probably fix everything. So that's cool.
All right, I'm gonna go.
All right then. Thanks for being
See ya,
on
man.
here, and Groove Radio, dog. You know how it roll.
Oh god, N Groove Radio, yes sir.
Fuck yeah, man! You can run and short hop.
That's what
I can.
That's what N Groove niggas do. They run and short jump on.
You can roll
Exactly.
cancel. You can break stocks and be powerful.
We break stocks,
Yeah.
bonds, safes, cars, car
God.
windows, whatever you
Wu-Tang
want.
Financial.
He's N Groove, dog.
All right.
All right, man. Well, we're gonna move this one
Exactly.
over to Ben. So just give us a second while we reconfigure this.
Yeah, watch something on YouTube, and then we'll be back in a minute.
Yeah. Give us a second. Oh, I'm still here, right? Because I can still host this. I got somebody asking me on IRC right now how he can listen to the show, and he's in the AlphaISM radio chat room. So if somebody can just tell him how to listen to the show, because I don't have a link up, and that would be sweet, so I don't have to type directly to him. His name is Jalopno. Ben is definitely on Skype. Yo.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Benjamin! How are you?
I'm doing all right. Hold on.
Can everybody hear me and Ben out there? Everyone?
Alrighty.
Hello.
Hey, Jalopno, there you go. Right there in the chat. Oh, wait, you're not listening because you don't know how. All right.
Hey, that's Choi. Hey, that's Choi, man.
I know,
Get
right?
Choi on here.
Oh, my God, it's John Choi. Oh, my God.
What the hell, dude?
Ski, I will kill you if you do not get that nigga on the radio right now.
Oh, we would love to have John Choi on the radio if he wants to be on it. Choi.
I'm supposed to be talking to Mr. Choi for an interview on Wednesday.
I'm gonna let you, MrWizard. You can call in.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm tripping here.
Yeah, we're gonna get MrWizard set up. Oh, we can only have one of you guys on at a time. Yeah.
That's not true.
Oh, really?
No.
Well, kiss my grits.
Just costs Ben all of his paycheck to have all these people on at once.
Dude, we ain't doing that to the man.
People should donate some money for this fine, upstanding community program.
That would be sweet if people did donate some money so I could go to the Sizzler.
It's better than the casino.
Yeah. Well, I get, permanent returns for the Sizzler. Anyway, we did see really, really impressive Street Fighter 4 play from Choi and Justin because it was really back and forth. Justin with that Rufus in the first game, he totally had Choi read. He put that pressure game on him. Like I said, he put that little option.
Holy shit, what the fuck is going on here?
Oh no, we're having some technical difficulties.
Let me just call him. Alright,
Okay.
hold on.
We'll let you take care of that. Anyway, so Justin put his little throw mix-ups and his little Rufus spinneroonies on him, and he's able to take, I think, maybe like the first game, maybe slightly convincingly, but then Choi, I swear to God, when Choi does an uppercut, it just looks different than when anybody else does it. It's like...
Well, that's because he puts his whole arm into it, man. He plays on an American stick still.
I know.
He's just like, when he does an uppercut, he means it.
It's like you see Ryu.
There's no flick of the wrist. There's no
like,
shortcut
I
motion.
swear, I see Ryu tense his arm a little bit more. Maybe that's why. But like Choi's uppercuts just seem like
I'm sorry.
so much more like devastating, yo. So he put those uppercuts on Justin when Justin was like just trying to get into his little mix-up, like, I'm just going to pop one of these dive kicks here just to get you blocking, and, I'll go from there. And Troy's like, no! Sit it down!
That's just going to make the flowchart Kens even more like, fuck it, Shoryuken.
Dude, it is
You know what? I say it is something to be said for him forcing Justin to switch to Abel. That killed me,
I don't know
That
if he
just
forced him
tells
to
you
switch.
that he does not have enough confidence and continuing to play with
I don't
Rufus.
know if I
I don't
believe
agree.
that at all. Really one bit.
Okay.
I think he switched for fun. I don't think he switched because he felt forced.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you got to look at the circumstances. Justin had, by the match count, already beaten Choi more rounds with Rufus, more games with Rufus than he had lost to the Ryu. But I mean, I don't want to say that Choi wasn't learning the fight, and he didn't have the momentum at that point, because he did. Obviously, he won the last fight, so Justin was able to switch. But at the same time, Justin, had another set left, and
Sometimes Justin just wants to show off and do fun
well,
stuff.
no, I know that he's been planning on
anybody.
playing Abel.
Hold
versus,
the thought. I got to click over. Hold on.
Yeah, okay. I think he should be able to just. Anyway, what I'm saying is, Justin has been planning on playing his Abel versus all these great Ryus. Yeah, 4-2. Yeah, I do include winners, Ponder. What's up? What's up,
Joey,
Mr.
what's
up,
going on,
Mr.
man?
Wizard?
What's going on?
100%.
It ain't all, if it's all about
Yes, much
finals,
better.
then it was 2-2. I don't know. It was 4-3. No, it was 4. Yeah, it was 4-3. But the point is that Justin was up on the match count. So to say that he was forced to switch to Abel is kind of a false conclusion, because we don't know what Justin was gonna do in the next fight. And yeah, he has said that he was gonna play Abel if he played Daigo, and he picked Abel at a position where it was good for him to maybe win a fight, because if he does win the fight, then the set's over. But he also had that fight to feel out how he would have done against Choi, and if he would have gotten raped versus Choi with his Abel, then he would have went back to Rufus. So to say that he was forced to switch to Abel, I think is just kind of weird, because it's not even like Abel is particularly good against Ryu or a particularly good character. And
it looks like to me. I mean, hey, I say this with the reservation that I am, not a Street Fighter 4 expert or by any means. It's just that it looked like to me was that Justin, at least the way I see it, that Choi had Justin figure out a little bit on Rufus, switch to Abel to take advantage of, to see if John knew how to fight an Abel, a good Abel, and try to take advantage of the lack of knowledge that he would have.
There's
fighting
definitely
a good
some of
Abel.
that involved, I'm sure.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like one of those things. I don't think Justin just did not want to go into another set, because if he goes to another set with Rufus and is stuck with Rufus, then it's anyone's game, right? So
I just don't think that I don't like the way that the game developed between the Rufus and the Ryu. I don't think that it was definitive that even if they played Ryu Rufus another set, that Choi was going to win. It was just it was definitely 50-50. So
which would be too close to call. Justin wouldn't want to risk it. I mean, he always said,
yeah, why would you?
Prior to that point, that Street Fighter 4 was determined that he needed to win. He wanted, that was his focus. So,
right.
I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, he's free to do whatever he wants. So, he wanted to switch it up and, take advantage, and he did, and he won.
Apparently, Marnito did a series of games with John Choi earlier that day and beat him pretty handily 7-0, so Justin was pretty confident and able against John Choi. So I guess that's too bad for Juicebox, because he's not doing whatever Justin and Marn are doing. But Justin was pretty confident in Abel versus Choi, I guess, because of that. My point is, though, that the game changed to where Choi was able to fight Justin's game, and Justin was still able to apply his game to Choi. It was just, really hard. It was hard for Choi, but Choi was taking risky options in order to defeat Justin's game. So, and him throwing out them dragon punches, he was definitely opening himself up to death, and Justin, was missing those Rufus combos. So, it would have been an interesting second set, but
You know what? But with all that being said, 6 weeks of playing Street Fighter 4, it boggles the fucking mind. with how much Choi has learned. It looked like he'd been playing Street Fighter 4 since it's been out in the arcade in the U.S. It's something to be said for someone to come in on 6 weeks' notice and is almost able to take down the reigning champ.
Dude, that's what I was saying, that once this dude John Choi really gets into Street Fighter 4, he's gonna look crazy. He's gonna look incredible because he looks just like Daigo looked when Daigo first got into the game. He's being really, his fundamentals are obviously incredibly solid, but he's still not afraid to to throw in the new features. He was making use of the focus like he was comfortable with it, but he wasn't, making full use of it just yet. He doesn't do any offensive focus mix-ups, and I know that that's something that he will be able to integrate into his game a little bit. It's not something that's necessarily, I don't think he's gonna throw it into his style as much as you saw in like those Punko versus Laugh videos, but I definitely think he's gonna start throwing that kind of thing in, and when he does, it's gonna be so much harder to even, get him off of you. Because he's going to be reading when you're just going to push that button and just pop you with that level 2 real fast.
Let me ask you a question. Based on how Choi did versus Justin, does it make you look at Evolution a little bit different?
It does make me look at Evolution a little bit differently because I didn't really picture Choi. I mean, Choi wasn't in the picture. I'm sorry to say. Not to say that I was sleeping.
He couldn't be, but yeah.
I wasn't sleeping on Choi, but all the reports that we heard. I'm over here on the East Coast. Everything that I've heard about Choi is that he doesn't really like the game. He's not really playing it. But I know that John Choi, as a player, has the type of fundamentals that would translate really well to Street Fighter 4, the kind of shit that we saw. Just his fireball game, the way that he was able to defeat Edma was just like pure basic Shoto-ness. Like
some of the reactions in the chat room to that match were head shake left and right, disgusting. But I mean, that's what you get sometimes when you don't have an announcer explaining why he's not just throwing fireballs and winning.
Yeah,
there's a lot more going on than that.
They thought
but
that
the chat room was just like, yeah, he's just spamming fireballs. I can do that. No, he's not just spamming fireballs.
You could never do that. You couldn't even fathom how to do that. The way that he was throwing those fireballs, what people fail to understand is how he is reading the person. Like, this is totally cerebral at this point for him to throw a fireball and then open up this fucking this funnel, this cornucopia of possibilities just to get you shook, to get you to wait for another split second so he can throw another fireball.
Bravo on the use of the word cornucopia.
Oh yeah, totally. Like it's
like
a cornucopia.
No, it's like what Hav said. You got to have somebody behind that microphone who can explain this in a general way to people who might not know. Because the people they had behind the microphone were just like, they knew he wasn't just throwing fireballs, but they didn't know how to explain.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
That he wasn't just throwing fireballs.
Yeah, they had to wait. They had to wait until Edma actually come out and actually said, he just beat the shit out of me. He knew exactly when to throw the fireballs. It wasn't random, and
even Edma had a really hard time explaining it.
Yeah, I mean,
well, it's a difficult concept to explain.
They call it ume. They say Daigo was even trying to write a book about ume, but he gave up because it was too hard to explain. But yeah, dude, that game, that just him being able to do that makes me want to play Ryu a little bit more, and because the show of intelligence that it takes from a player to sit there and have that composure and throw fireball, take a small step back, just that smidgen, that little smithereen, and I know you're gonna jump right now. Take that little tiny step back, and boom, there's the jump. So now I got that perfect deep uppercut right up in your gut. Right on the knees, Akuma. Where you going? Like, this one's guaranteed. It was insane.
You know what Alex said when I got a chance to speak with Valle last night, and he said that he's not surprised, and he's like, Street Fighter 4 is not nearly as technical as Super Turbo, and he says that it was natural that some of the advanced concepts of a pro gamer, like using the fireball, to make to make your opponent do something that you don't want them to do. I didn't like, AKA jump at you, And the thing that kills me, and I know Choi is listening right now, actually. What killed me is that you was able to walk under the air fireball and sweep him.
Oh man!
And you did that 3 times, and in the last 2 times, you didn't even get hit by the air fireball. You just walked forward and swept them. I didn't even know that you can do that to them.
Adaptation. Well, how does he do it? How did
I
on the fly?
am at a loss.
On the
I'm at a
fly.
loss. Yeah.
That's it there made me get so pissed off because I'm like, man, my fucking sweep with El Fuerte is so slow. I try to get under that shit and I can't do it, but he's just like walking up like, no fear, like it says it on my shirt. Sweep. And then it's like, focus, dash up, sweep. Like, perfect, impeccable timing. And Edma's like, what the fuck? And like, Edma was totally unprepared for the Shoto massacre. The perfectly ranged low forwards, and since it's Street Fighter 4, it's not safe to throw a fireball, so he doesn't throw a fireball. He just low forward. Here's another low forward. They're hits. They're damaged. They rack up. They don't even have to be a combo, and that's another thing that the people in the stream, the viewers, that I'm sad that they weren't able to notice how many of those hits were just actually just clean hits. How hard is it to do that? To walk up to someone that can teleport and throw a fireball and uppercut, can just walk up and fucking kick that nigga in the kneecaps. And he doesn't know what? He wasn't even ready for that shit. He could have just held block. And he just got kicked multiple times. Choi was all over him, and it was like insane because like Gutex was saying, Edma is like a scientist. Like he's played Viper, Ken, and Akuma, and he's a really technical player, and he's played those characters all very technically and to like a very high level with each of them. So he's really putting in time and work and study into the game, But you got these Valles, these Chois, these walking Shotos who fucking see the world in fireballs, and like he can't simulate that shit in the lab, yo. It's, all the experiments gone awry. There is no Shoto constant. What's the Shoto constant? What the fucking Professor Ma needs to know? What's the Shoto constant? People saying that Choi downloaded the walk under air fireball and the sweep from Valle. I think I did see Valle do that once or twice. But Choi definitely made it look like it was incredibly effortless. So, that was impressive. Like we already said, the game versus Justin, was really back and forth. Choi showing incredible, impeccable Street Fighter to just read Justin and uppercut him out of his mix-ups. Say, fuck the bullshit. I am going to put you in distress mode. Justin was never really able to get comfortable, and like he was against other people, and just dive kick them to death, or dive kick mix them up. He didn't throw Choi. Choi took the throw bullshit pretty much out the game. Like, Justin had to go to, like, the unorthodox DCE setups to try to land a throw. Choi was already uppercutting that shit, which is really incredible. Very incredible.
And his arm gets bigger every time he does it.
Yeah, dude, it does more damage if you land 3 in a row.
That is fucking sick. That is knowledge I did not have until this moment.
Yeah, dude. So anyway, that was Devastation, and that was a big tournament, and we got another big tournament coming up now, the biggest one of them all.
What's it called?
I think it's called Evolution. And
is that an STD?
It is an
That is
STD.
incorrect, sir. It's called the Super Bowl. That's what it's called.
It's the definitely.
Can I Google that?
It's the Super Bowl. I think the Super Bowl STD cup. But you don't wear a cup.
Super Bowl.
Okay. Okay.
I might wear a cup to EVO this year, actually, just in case.
You should, because those Smash players are going to be gunning for you, dude.
Yeah, they're going to want to kick me in the nuts,
They're
dude.
coming, and they are not that tall, dude. You should. Be prepared. So yes, this is the Evolution edition of AlphaISM. Sorry, I've blathered on for so long, but we do have the director of Evolution, as well as, no small task, the man that runs and operates Shoryuken.com, MrWizard. Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to the show, Joey.
Thanks for coming on, for being someone that actually showed up for one of my podcasts, so I got to clap, because if you guys didn't know, Street Fighters are bummy.
That's also an STD. He has the clap and he has EVO.
They are
Just
unreliable. Totally unreliable.
I'm giving that out like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got them both from me.
And
I got them from Daniel.
so before we hop into EVO, let's just I want to try a little experiment here. So before we get into EVO, let's hear a little bit about yourself, Mr. Wizard. I'm gonna ask you some questions. We want to take some time with you. We want to know about Joey. Can you tell me?
Well, then you need to ask the questions and I'll answer them.
All right. Well, we always like to keep the Street Fighter on here on AlphaISM Radio. So the first thing I want to ask you is, what's your favorite Street Fighter game? Just out of all of them, your favorite. Matter of fact, your favorite Capcom 2D fighting game. I know that
Rush 2049.
Yeah, I know that Rush 2049 is your top game. You know what I'm saying? But if you had to pick just one Capcom 2D game, I'm not gonna limit it to any Street Fighter game, because you might say Marvel, but you are the Capcom guy, the Shoryuken guy, and then this is a Capcom type of show. I'm a Capcom type of guy, so I want to know what's your favorite Capcom game.
I think my favorite Capcom game of all time is probably Super Turbo. I love that game.
Super Turbo.
I haven't played it in quite a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a great game. The mechanics are great. The intensity is great. The overall gameplay is fast and deadly, and that's the way a game should be. It shouldn't be drawn out and take a crazy amount of damage to get around over.
Yeah, so if you could play just one game forever, then Super Turbo would be the one? The Desert Island test?
Yeah, if they had a good version of Super Turbo online, I would probably be playing that out.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
As you know, they've failed at that quite a number of times, so...
Yeah, well, there's always GGPO.
Yeah, I did play a lot of GGPO in the beginning, but you have to play on EVO for 10 months out of the year. It gets kind of bogged down, right? I don't get to play as much as I used to.
Yeah, dude, that's gotta be rough. So, if you said you liked Super Turbo because it's really pretty fast-paced, and there's like a lot of deadly maneuvers and things. So, if you had to like characterize your playstyle, what would you say? Would you say that you try to like bet it all on like a deadly, maybe like a risky gamble, or are you more of the like safe, get some damage over time?
No, I'm all about bulldog in your face.
Oh yeah.
Doing as much damage as I can, as fast as I can, and making you lose all focus of the game.
Hell
You're
yeah.
sitting there trying to turtle me out.
Yeah.
So the chat room wants to know what's your favorite non-Capcom fighter, Mr. Wizard.
Oh, I think I know that one.
I think that's a pretty easy question if you follow my...
Does it start with a K and end with an instinct?
That is correct. It is Killer Instinct. I grew up on that game, and that was the game around the era when Primal Rage was out and Street Fighter Hyper Fighting was out. So I played most of those games, but I ended up playing Killer Instinct for about 5 years in the arcade, so it was pretty crazy.
Well, what about Time Killers? Can we get an honorable mention? I heard you love. I know you
I
like
was
to
like one of
decapitate
like
someone.
3 people who played Time Killers at the arcades that I played at. And,
Did you play Time Killers competitively?
He won every Time Killers
it's because
tournament.
When you're young and you don't have a lot of money to travel, and you don't know where the Time Killers competitions are, you take what your local arcade can give you. So
You just press all 5 buttons and you decapitate people. That's all I know about that game.
Doing a fatality with no arms and no legs was the absolute best thing in that game.
Wow, I didn't even know you could do
Game's
that.
funny, dude.
Well, that's pretty sweet. So, I know that you are kind of a Chun-Li player in a few games. That she kind of seems to suit that style where you can like get up in your face, you know. You can put like, you know, some little moderate risk options on people, but get them just keep, you know, maybe winning out in a damage trade and get them for some big shots before things go on. So, like, would you say like Chun-Li is like the character that you mainly want to play? If there's an ideal character for you?
When I grew up, when I was playing Street Fighter games, Chun-Li was the character of choice. She had speed and she had damage, and they gave her a fireball, which made her Rue-like. And I mean, she was the way that's why I was using her, because no one else would use her in the arcade. And then I played her all the way through Alpha 3, and then like Marvel came out, and I used her in that. But then she became like everyone's character, and then I got rid of her. Cause
yeah, all those black people, right? Are you a black guy? Wait, this is no secret, right? That Chun-Li is the pick of black. I don't know why black guys pick Chun-Li, but I know that I picked Chun-Li when I was a
that
kid.
ass.
I guess it is that ass.
Yeah, she was.
You got those thunder thighs and that massive ass.
It was. I guess that's what it was for me too. You know, I used to pause
Her
it sometimes.
thighs could crack walnuts. That was like the best thing.
Yeah. That was the combo. Just crack a walnut, KO. So, speaking of them arcades, where did you start, you know, playing video games? Would you start out in the arcade, or did you have a console first? You were probably at the arcade age, huh?
Yeah, I was actually part of the arcade age. I played at Camelot and Elfland, which was about 20 minutes from my house, and I would walk down there every day and play. And just played there for a number of years until I had learned that there was actually another golf land where better players played, and that was Southern Hills. But that was extremely far from my house. It was over 25 miles, so I could only go down there once in a blue moon, but once I got down there, it was like I knew I had to come back to that place.
Aw, just like the Bang the Machine intro.
Yeah, I had actually never watched that intro in a public place until last year when Chris Lee made me watch it. So.
Oh, really? If you guys don't know, and
Yeah.
probably a few of you don't, Bang the Machine documentary about the Street Fighter scene around B4 time and when US played Japan, MrWizard is in the intro of that movie. He is the intro
I love the intro
of
to that movie.
And that intro is so good. It's like so telling. Because you just see Mr. Wizard walking to the Sunny Hills Golf Land, but it's kind of like
Somebody in the audience stands up as soon as that scene comes on and yells, "Get that McRib, Joey!"
you know, and you
so
feel it.
funny.
You know, you feel that guy doing that walk to that arcade, and you don't even know what it is at first, you know, but you see him like get over the hill, and you see the sign for Sunny Hills Golf Land, Southern Hills Golf Land. And you're like, oh yeah, that's that walk, you know, like, or that's that drive, that's that train ride, you know, like, boom, like, I'm right there now. It's like I'm about to get these tokens and get it in. That intro was sweet, and you see Joey just taking the trek to the pilgrimage, the quintessential gamer pilgrimage, so to speak. So, you started gaming in the golf land, and that's where you started Street Fighter. So, what did you say about the scene, or, you know, what was it about that made you get, like, hardcore? Because, you know, I'm definitely hardcore. And you being the director of Evolution, we'd probably say that you're hardcore. You've been pretty hardcore at some points in your life.
Yeah, well, definitely. That's how I grew up. The competition. I mean, anything you play, whether you play ping pong, you play baseball, you play basketball, whatever. It's still a competition, and I love to win. So when I started playing video games, I just picked a character that I could win with, and ended up beating everyone in the arcade. So then you have to go travel and try to find new competition, and then you found Southern Hills and all these players who were actually the same skill level or a little bit better than you. You know, that's where you have to play to get better. So that's what happens.
Well, that's pretty cool. Whose microphone is that? Anyway, Yeah, that's pretty sweet. I know myself, I kind of got hardcore just kind of by accident. You know, like Street Fighter for me was one of those games that I just was always gonna play. I think maybe my brother, you know what it was? Definitely going to the arcades with my brother as a kid, being the younger brother and seeing him play the game with like the bigger, cooler, older kids, you know, and just seeing the rivalry just like legitimized it to me at such a young age that I knew that that was like something that I would want to like do. But, you know, I just bought the console games, you know, and played them as much as I could, and, you know, I was pretty much a scrub until I started to meet, you know, better players just around my area, until, you know, really Shoryuken.com if there was no Shoryuken. Yo, who's moving the mic? Who's moving the mic? Is that you, Adam?
Dude, my mic is on mute. There's no way it's me.
Is it you, Benji? Alright, anyway.
No, actually, Keits, it's you. Somehow there's a lot of static coming on your end.
I will try and figure out why. I don't think that is possible, though. It was on mute.
Yeah.
Alright, well, anyway. Yeah, I definitely found out about Shoryuken through a friend of mine who, you know, we were playing Alpha 3 and Marvel vs. Capcom 1 in the arcades and on the consoles when we could, before Dreamcast came out, though. And he starts, you know, I was always, I thought, better than him, even though he would, you know, definitely beat me sometimes, but I would win the majority of the matches just off of, like, natural skill. Hey, you know, natural skill in the Street Fighter, right? Like, this is fucking such a thing. I knew when the fucking fierce, my hand, I knew how far my fierce was. Anyway, he comes like one day, it was like just one day, he starts doing combos, like V combos, and I'm like, well, what the fuck? Like, I saw him pick V's, and I'm like, oh, you picked, you know, like the shitty V's. I'm like, you know, what are you gonna do with this? And he starts like comboing me. I'm like, wow, what is this? And he wasn't doing anything really complicated just yet. But then we started to go play Marvel 1, and it seemed like every day he was doing like a new Infinite, and I'm like, how the fuck? First off, it's incredible that this guy had the execution to be doing these things that I guess he was reading on the internet every day, and then he just come, or maybe he went to the arcade, secretly practiced that shit. No idea. But he had like a new Infinite every day, and I remember when it finally got to like Red Venom, and he's hitting me once and killing me. I'm like, dude, where are you learning all of these things? Where is this stuff coming from? And he's like, just go to Shoryuken.com. And I'm like, Shoryuken.com? What the fuck? Like, do you think I'm a fucking idiot? Like, what is a Shoryuken.com, dude? Like, oh, like, then I'll go get some strats from Hadouken.net, because that's where all the cool, like, you know, all the like ill strats are. So
back in the Marvel 1 days, there were even other like smaller sites.
There was Migs Rustia. That's the one. Yeah, dude. And you would go to
page of whatever.
Yeah, dude. Those pages had combos that did not fucking work, dude. Like,
yep, I was around back then, lurking most of the time.
Yeah, man. So we're all on the scrub level, and Shoryuken is over there revolutionizing shit. And then I go on Shoryuken for a few months, and I read all the articles and things on the front page, but I did not know that there were forums, and I didn't know what the forums encompassed. MrWizard, I gotta say, your web design back in the day on the site left a little bit to be desired, because that shit just said community. Like, I'm supposed to know what the hell a community is. I'm not a part of any community. I'm just trying to learn the strats, man. I want the combos. Give me the combos. So I'm going to the move list, and I see all, like,
the technology age moved up really fast, and it was a crazy time.
Yeah, dude.
Props up to Tom Cannon, though, because Tom Cannon actually started the website, and he had a bunch of people that did everything and all the content and all the front page stuff, and he was the artist, and it was his brainchild. So I mean, he's still the owner today, and he's a great guy, and so it's really all to him. I just run basically the day-to-day operations now. I mean, everyone just make sure the site's up and running and everything. So, but yeah, it was a great site back then. The international superhighway was running. Everyone was just getting computers, or you go to someone's house with a computer, and that's where it ended up taking taking off, and none of us knew where it was a hit.
Yeah, dude, it definitely popped off really quickly. Just even over here on the East Coast, we got wind of it fast. I guess it was, the Usenet connection. But
yeah, Usenet was huge back then.
So one more last question about the gaming history for you. I know that for the West Coast, you guys are all in almost one state. And, there's a lot of highways. You guys do a lot of driving around. You carried a lot of the EVO equipment around by hand or, by your own cars and things in the day. So what's maybe the craziest gaming-related trip that you can tell us about? Because I know that you guys, you'd hop in the car and go to Arizona. I've heard stories of people in trunks and whatnot for 4 hours in 100-degree heat and stuff. So I know that you've got some stories.
Well, I have some EVO-related stories that have never been told before, and then I have some, I guess, gamer stories. I remember going over to ECC4, and I remember I wanted the West Coast to represent at that tournament because I was going over there. So I ended up getting, this was back in 2000, I ended up getting 12 or 13 guys that head over to ECC4. The Cannons were there, Troy, Vi, Watson, I think. We were all over there. And this was the big tournament at the time. And I didn't really, I got like 5th or 7th in Alpha 3, and that was a pretty big feat because it was like a 120-man tournament at the time, and it was pretty huge.
Oh, yeah.
But at the time, I knew that it was really East Coast versus West Coast, and that's where it all started, and the shit talking was like crazy out of control, and I remember Troy was in the finals versus one of the Connecticut guys in Super Turbo, and I have never talked so much shit in my life. Like, I lost my voice. We were just talking like literally for like, I think it went 2 straight sets because I think Troy was coming out of losers, and we were just talking so much shit to that guy, and he ended up wanting to fight us at the end. Like, he was like, "You want to step outside and we'll handle this?" And it was a crazy time where it was like whatever.
Oh yeah, man! People used to get the Street Fighter. Back then, it was Street Fighter 4. Take it out to the streets.
Yeah, it was the real deal back then.
Street Fighter 3 back then.
And then I remember watching Marvel 1. The tournament went till 6 in the morning, and that was with the double war machine slowing down the clock, which didn't move, and it was like the craziest shit ever. And then I remember
gotta get that level 3 and make it rain.
Yeah, and my flight was at like 7:35 in the morning.
Oh wow!
And so the tournament ended at 6 a.m. So we're like trying to catch the airport, and we get lost on the way there. So we ended up missing our flight, and the next flight is 6 p.m. And so we decided that we were going to climb the Empire State Building stairs, which was at the time we thought was feasible.
Wow, you guys were on some Saved by the Bell shit.
So we ended up going back to New York and kicking it there for about 8-10 hours, and then we finally caught a flight back and on standby, which is like the craziest way to fly back because you don't know if you're going to be on the plane or not. And that was a crazy time. So
that's rough. That is how you do it. Hey, just to the AlphaISM radio room, I definitely remember shinakuma.net. I used to go on that shit every day when I was done with Star Yukon.
I think Jason Nelson's site.
Yeah, and I remember APOC had his little article on there about ratio. Remember it was like power up your ratio, and it was like, hey, you should make Sag at your ratio too, because he's more powerful, dude. Like, remember? That was the one thing about that site that stuck out for me.
Yeah, I think a bunch of sites started up back then because they saw Shuriken there. Oh, we can do that too. And then,
oh yeah, tried to ride the wave.
Everyone just faded out from there.
Sure, you can. Well, yeah, man. I know you've gotten to play some of these new games, being in the position that you are. So, what do you think of BlazBlue?
I've had it for a couple weeks now, and it's I barely played Guilty Gear as it was. I mean, I wasn't really hardcore, and so I was playing Dizzy, and then I had never watched videos of this game, and they sent me a copy, and I was just trying to play it, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on, and apparently I picked a graphical character who was Hager. I was trying to play, and it's a pretty interesting game. I mean, if it's like a knockoff of Guilty Gear, the sequel or whatever it is, I mean, it definitely will spark the interest of the Guilty Gear community and people that like games that look great.
Yeah.
It's got a really complex system, and I think it's going to be a hit. So we'll see what happens.
So can you tell us anything about the net play? This is Laraldo's question, by the way. He wants to know, how's the net play?
You know what? I've only, because the limited quality of people that were on who had the game, I've only played people from California, and I'm on fiber optics over here. So I mean, all my connections are really good. There weren't any rollbacks. There wasn't just any. I didn't see any frame losses.
Have
I didn't
rollbacks?
see any No, there was no rollbacks anywhere.
But does it even have a rollback system?
Yeah, I didn't see any rollbacks or anything. When the game like certain times the beginning of the round would lag, and it would just slow the game down. It wouldn't like drop inputs or anything. You could still do stuff in lag, but I mean, what are you gonna do if the connection like starts to go out? But yeah, it wasn't losing inputs. It wasn't rolling back anything. So I think it's a pretty good connection. I mean, we had really good games, but no one was really on the server at the time, so I don't know how it works. But for overall, it was really good.
Yeah, well, that's pretty cool. What are you thinking about Tekken 6? You guys having? I know you guys are having like a surprise Tekken 6 showing at EVO, right?
Those juggles.
Yeah, we are. We're actually working with Namco Bandai this year to bring the fans the console version, and by EVO, it's supposed to be gold for the PS3 one. But I mean, I don't know how far they're going to be behind on that.
Why don't they just sell copies at EVO?
Yeah,
that would be
we're
so
going to run
awesome.
an exhibitional tournament, and we're going to give away some prizes, and then show what the showcase can do, and show the people that this is another game that has an extremely long history in the fighting game community, and they've made it a little bit scrub friendly, so that a lot of people can get into it and play without like playing super hardcore style.
Just like Street
So
Fighter
I think
4.
it's going to do really well.
That's cool. But yeah, man. So we got EVO coming up in just under 1 month now, and
That's getting crazy.
yeah, it's pretty close. Have you finished? You know, the reservation, all the setups and everything that you're gonna have to do. You know, are you able to just take a breather now, or is it still gonna basically be, you know, like up to the day?
No, it usually comes down to the week of EVO where the planning is still going on. I mean, our EVO team is crazy good. We have Tom and Tony Cannon, who have been around forever, and we have Seth Killian, who's the community manager at Capcom, and he's a really big help in getting things done. So all four of us are working down the wire, getting everything, all the details wired away, and getting T-shirts made and getting everything we need to run the tournament. So it's going to go down till probably the Monday before when we close registration. We'll work on the brackets. We'll announce them online. Everyone can see where they're going to play a couple days ahead of time, and then from then on out, everything should be done. So maybe I'll get two days before EVO to get rest up, and that'll be about it.
Well, that's cool. Are you gonna be rocking a nice suit again this year, or maybe you got something else planned? Perhaps a vest of some sort.
What was the question?
Are you gonna have a nice Kingpin-like suit again, or something
He
different
wants to
this
know if
year?
you're going to play dress up.
Maybe holler at one of Keits' cool ties coming out. You know.
I was actually thinking about making a MrWizard tie with Joey's face right on the front.
Oh yeah, I could totally see that. That would be.
That would be actually a scary side of people actually wearing that on their chest or whatever.
Those would sell like hotcakes. Although I can't think of a time when pancakes sold so well that expression needed to be created.
But I have to say, wearing a suit at EVO is the most uncomfortable thing I've ever felt.
Oh.
Because you can't do anything really. I mean,
Yeah.
it was just
I was
because
just in
it
a
was our
shirt.
10th. Yeah, it was our 10th year, and I wanted to do something special, so we got some trophies, and I got in a suit, and I think everyone enjoyed it. So I don't know if I'm going to be
it'll so
repeating
bad
that.
if the air conditioning works.
Yeah, hence why we're not back to the Tropicana this year.
Yeah.
Oh, the Tropicana, what a joy you were.
But we had strippers like all the time.
Yeah,
Dude,
that
we
was
had
the
to tell
cool
him we
thing
were
about
gay to get him off
Tropicana.
us.
If you couldn't get a chick, or if you're just a video game nerd, I mean, the hookers were at the elevator waiting to take your business. I mean, you can't get any more convenient than that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go for a walk at the Rio to get your hookers, or you can order in, but I think those are probably more expensive.
I would imagine so. Or you can go
Word
down
of
to the Bunny
warning:
Ranch.
the girl on the flyer is never what you get.
Really? What the fuck?
Just
man?
letting you know.
What the
That
fuck?
girl on the flyer, that's not who's coming to your door.
I thought that's the whole
The
point.
price, though. The price stays the same.
What the fuck?
It's the bait and switch. They get you in with the flyer, and then they go, "This is what we got tonight."
Yeah, that's
Good luck
total
with that.
bullshit. I can't believe that. Well, they are not getting my business now.
Yeah, your dreams are dashed.
The
Good thing about the Tropicana, though, is that after the disappointment, you can take a cold shower because that's all you get. There is no hot water in the morning at the Tropicana.
When I actually had to get up on Saturday morning for the EVO in the Tropicana, the left half of the hotel was not having any hot water.
Yeah.
So
Lovely.
I know a bunch of people did not have a shower that morning, so I met Ponder in the elevator, and we both looked at each other like, we can't believe we are held the EVO here. And that's like the worst possible scenario is not hot water for showers. So
For the record, I showered, but it was cold.
you know what? Chris Lee actually said he manned up and he took a super cold shower. I can't.
Yeah, I manned up too. I didn't want to be that one guy that, there's always that guy at the tournament. You're walking through the room, you're like, hey man, you're shaking hands, and then there's that one guy you walk past him and your face just turns sour.
Don't be that guy. Don't be
not be
that
that
guy.
Bring your fucking deodorant. Take a goddamn shower even if it's cold.
Yo.
Wash your armpits.
Pro tip. Bring a towel if you are a bum. Because if you don't have a room, you are going to have a hard time getting a towel. You're going to have an even harder time getting a towel than a shower. Because there will only be so many towels in somebody's room, and all of those towels are going to be taken by the 100 other people in the room. So you're going to either have to try to scam a towel by walking around on trying to find one of the house cleaning ladies. Don't do that to yourself. Get a towel, buy a towel, bring a towel.
The best way to dry off if you don't have a towel is to run through the hallway naked as fast as you can.
Right.
And let yourself air dry.
Right, but then you might even find a towel.
This is actually the first year when I've actually had my own room this year, so.
Oh, really? I know.
You think you will.
I know where I'm going. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not bringing my girlfriend, Wiz. Wink, wink.
That's why I am bringing my girlfriend, Wiz. Wink, wink, wink. Oh, yeah. Threesome. Anyway, so yeah, man, we're talking about EVO. What do you think? Do you have? I mean, there's probably too many to rehash, but do you have like one of your top EVO moments, your favorite EVO moments, besides not just the ones that were made into videos, because obviously those
not
were
the YouTube ones.
Those were obviously insane.
Are we talking player moments, or are we talking behind-the-scene moments, or what are we talking?
I want your player moment and your behind-the-scene moment, and save the behind-the-scene moment for second.
Okay, I think, wow, that's a pretty, you know what, I mean, I thought my favorite player moment of all time was, EVO 2002, the 5-on-5 Marvel, when it was, Sumayi versus Justin Long.
Oh, you West Coast till you die.
I mean, that was actually the defining moment, and I was like, and I actually thought, because we were in Cal Poly tomorrow, we were at, I think it was 03 or whatever, and we were in Cal Poly tomorrow, and when he did that 4 snapback combo, and everyone jumped up at the exact same time.
Yeah.
Wait. Earthquake.
Wizard, you telling me this is better than the EVO 2003 Daigo Perry?
No, that was 2004.
Oh, that's 2004. I'm sorry.
2004.
No, we already precluded that one.
They're both high in my book. I mean, the Daigo Perry. I mean, I've seen people parry.
Yeah.
It's actually under my account, the Sumati video, I think, but that's pretty much it.
Oh, is it?
But, no, I hold them both in high regards, and I mean, they obviously were both crazy moments that you had to be there to experience. But I mean, when everyone jumped up and literally screamed at the exact same moment, and I actually thought, because we were on the upper level of AlphaISM, that the floor was going to collapse.
Yeah, that was pretty
I had
insane.
known that it was a pretty crazy time, and when you beat Justin Wong at a game he was completely dominated at, I mean, at that time, that was a crazy thing to happen. So
Oh, yeah.
It was,
Oh, yeah, it's true. Oh, man. Do you remember Daigo versus Ricky in Third Strike? I think it was that same year, maybe.
with where they had the draw.
Yeah, they had the draw and then the judgment.
Yeah,
Judgment?
I do remember
like
that.
Judgment.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it was. Everyone had voted on the forums that they didn't want to use judgment as a determining factor in the tournament, and everyone voted and everyone said judgment is not allowed. So,
Yeah.
but a lot of people didn't pay attention to that.
Oh,
And
yeah.
what happened was when it went to judgment, the crowd went wild when it turned Ricky, because Ricky was using Chun-Li, and the two of the times turned Ricky, and the players went crazy because
Yeah.
the first Japanese that lost.
Oh, hell yeah. We were all hyped.
We had to hop on the mic and say, if it doesn't count, we're going to redo it, and then Daigo proceeded to steamroll Ricky right after that. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
But my favorite behind-the-scenes moment, which a lot of people do not know about, was Evolution. I think it was EVO East 2006.
Mm-hmm.
That was our first year over there, and we got some rental TVs that we obviously did not test, and they had lag.
Oh, yeah. Heard about this.
James Chen actually tested the TV and said there was no lag, but I mean, he was just so used to doing combos by button memory that he didn't even occur to check frame reaction and all that. And so me and Tom, and we had an EVO staff meeting at the place, and we're like, how do we fix this? We have to fix this. This is a huge event. So me and Tom actually went upstairs and we just started brainstorming, and we came across a Walmart which was 70 miles away that was open 24 hours. And we called the Walmart and we actually said, do you have 20 LCD TVs, or not LCD, like the CRT tube TVs in stock? And they said yes. So we actually drove a truck down there. And, 70 miles, and this happened at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I actually wasn't there. I actually had stayed up all night on a red-eye flight, and so I was up for 46 hours.
Wow.
So I had to go to sleep, but I mean, what happened is they got to the Walmart at 4 o'clock in the morning. They bought the TVs. They loaded up on the truck that was carrying the Toyota Yaris cars at the time, because that was our sponsor. And they started coming back, and they got a call from the truck saying that the clutch was out.
What?
And they had no way to stop the car.
Oh, holy shit!
The car with no clutch. They would never be able to get back on the road. So this caused a crazy amount of panic. They had to go through a toll booth arrow thing or whatever it was. So the lead car goes up to the toll booth and says, "We're not messing with you. We're not messing with you. There's going to be a truck coming through that can't stop. We're going to pay for the toll." And
Holy shit!
don't question it. And they were just like, okay. So 5 minutes later, the truck comes through, no brakes, no clutch, can't shift the car. They're in second toll.
No
fine.
brakes would be messed up.
Yeah, so they can't shift the car and they can't stop. So literally, it's literally a lead car is trying to control traffic at 4 o'clock in the morning, and it's pretty crazy. And at the very last second before they had to go into the hotel, there's actually a 270-degree turn to get into the hotel.
Oh, right. Yeah. I remember this. I remember that turn.
And it was actually they told me it was a really scary moment because they didn't know if they were going to make it, but they actually did make it. And I got the TVs to the hotel, and it was a crazy story.
That's insane. Yeah, that one
And,
qualifies for craziest gaming-related trip too. Holy shit!
Yo, Seth says he
And,
paid
yeah,
that toll
I
booth
mean,
back
no one
$20
knows the
bucks.
lengths that we went to go fix those TVs because we had an event to put on. So, I mean, that's just one of the crazy stories. And all the staff, I have to put it out to them because I couldn't be there. Skillian and James Chen and the Cannons and everyone who went with them, they stayed up till 8 o'clock in the morning, and then I came down and relieved them and ran the tournament while they slept for a few hours. So, I mean, props to everyone who did that. So it was pretty crazy.
Wow, it is crazy that you guys. Wow, what if they didn't have a lead car or whatever? Like, you know, like.
Yeah,
There, you can play the what-if game with like 90 questions in that car, and if anything
Yeah.
goes wrong, we have a problem.
Yeah, dude, that is like. Ooh, holy shit. Holy,
Seth
like.
says they almost ran out of gas too, and that he paid the toll booth guy $20.
That, yeah.
He said, truck. He said truck is not out of control, but it can't stop. And the toll booth guy was like, and he just drove off.
That could have
So
been
they
like
call it
the day the Street Fighter died. You know, like it's just like that plane crash with all the rock stars. That could have been the day that Street Fighter died right there. That is
Yeah.
hardcore.
There's actually a picture on James Ken's blog. It actually has him sleeping on like 40 TVs in the back of the truck, which is actually one of the funniest pictures I've seen in a while.
Oh yeah, cool. That's insane. I'm gonna have to check that out. Wow, Evolution. This is what people are doing to bring it to you guys. They don't get paid for that. They definitely don't get compensated for risking their lives driving around. Mind you, this was on the East Coast. None of you guys were. You're all West Coast guys, right? So you hop in.
Yeah, no, we're all West Coast.
Yeah,
I mean,
so you hop
Seth
into
was
this.
the only one who was actually East Coast for a while, and then he actually moved to California when he took a job with Capcom. So
Yeah, and he wasn't even in Connecticut. So this is guys that are running this event 3,000 miles away, and they're like, "Holy shit, we don't have TVs. We got to go get TVs. Let's go hop into this truck with all these cars in it and drive up the highway on the unfamiliar side of the country, fucking 4 o'clock in the morning. You know, who knows what the fuck's gonna happen." But we need these TVs so people can play. And I remember that year I could not go to EVO East. I had to go to a family reunion, ironically, on that week. Well, not ironically, but unfortunately on that weekend. So I'm at my family reunion. I come back and I'm checking these forums all vehemently to see what's happening, and people complaining about the TVs, like, "Oh my god, the TV situation, it's so bad." And then like magically the next day, TV situation has been rectified. It's all good. And I'm like, wow, what happened there?
yeah, that's what a lot of people were like, "Don't go to this tournament. It's going to be the worst tournament ever." And the tournament didn't even start, and we basically fixed it before it started. So
Yeah,
there was
yeah.
no reason to avoid the tournament.
Yeah, all the laggy TVs were on the day before the tournament had started even, and they got them all there morning before. I got that shit all set up. It is a bitch setting up 20 to 40 CRT TVs. I know that.
Yeah, we're actually going flat screen this year, so it's a light load on some of the TVs, so
That's cool.
we can actually carry them around decently.
That'll be
CRTs will still be there though, right? For the BYOC.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna. They'll still be there for the BYOC, and I guess some of them are using Smash Brothers, the unofficial / tournament. We'll be using those as well. So we're not gonna get rid of them. So bring in your Dreamcast, bring your Nintendo 8-bit, and go play on the BYOC.
Karate Champ, baby.
Okay.
Can
Well,
I bring in a question from the chat room, Ski?
which quote? Yeah, go ahead.
They were asking about the rumor about a possible entry cap on Street Fighter 4. Can you comment on that, Wiz? Is there going to be a cap on entries for Street Fighter 4 at Evolution 2009?
That's a really hard question to answer. This is actually going to be the biggest EVO ever, and the number of entrants is not even close to what we imagined to begin with. And Street Fighter 4 is literally taking over the scene. When you run the biggest live tournament in history, you actually can't. I mean, it's really hard to have an unlimited player-based tournament. It's because you don't. It's for the unknown factor. So it's really hard.
1,024 man
We
cap.
actually might come. We might, depending on how many we see. I mean, we'll let people know when we're getting close to 1,024, because that would be the actual number that would be the turning point where we can't run the tournament efficiently.
Oh, yeah.
Because we have 24 setups, and the number of people per pool would just run us into 9 a.m. the next morning. It would screw us up. But, yeah, so I just advise you to sign up as soon as possible, and if we decide to go with it, right now it's staying on an unlimited base tournament, and if we're getting close to a number we cannot handle, which very well could be a possibility, we will let the players know that we intend to institute a cap ahead of time so that people can actually get their registrations in, and then we'll deal with it. But at this point, there is no cap, so don't be worried at up to this point, and just stay tuned for more information.
So what if you did go unlimited? And would you be open to the idea of having community members donate PS3s and games for the day, and then use up some of that excess BYOC TVs actually just to make this work and be in the Guinness Book?
Well, the cool thing about EVO is the registration ends the Monday before EVO. So we'll actually know our exact numbers because we require payment up front. And at that time, if we think we need more, machines or whatever, we can just run down to the local Fry's or Best Buy or whatever and go pick some up, and pick up a couple monitors or whatever, or we can use our old TVs to accommodate that. But definitely don't worry about bringing your consoles. We know the PS3 is pretty heavy. We don't want you to outdo yourselves. So we'll handle it on our end. We'll make it work. Don't worry about it. So, I mean, just have a great tournament and just come out to play Street Fighter 4 and see the scene.
All right, so Thomas Osaki shows up the day of the tournament. He wants to enter, but he didn't enter online. What's good? Can he play?
You know what? That's the decision for Tony Cannon. He's the tournament director. And,
all right.
He actually let APOC in the tournament last year because APOC did a backflip and the bang machine landed on his head. Sorry for the guy, so he's let him in the tournament, and that's the way that goes.
I don't think anybody's going to argue with that one.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the exception rule doesn't always apply, but I mean, don't count on it. Like, don't bank on coming to EVO and think you're going to get in last minute because it probably won't happen. But I mean, let's just say maybe your house burns down and you have some kind of proof of that and you barely got late. It's like
you have the charred embers from your bedroom, from your mom's bedroom.
I mean, obviously special circumstances we'll see if we can accommodate you, but I mean, that's all Tony Cannon, and that's his prerogative, and he'll make the best judgment call at the time, so we'll let him decide that. But don't bank on it. Just register early and get that done with.
All right, well, I've also had a question about people that are interested in volunteering. I know that there was already the volunteer judge thing, but maybe for people who are not quite as experienced, do you have any volunteer positions at all?
Well, actually, so the most important person we need right now is tournament experience runners, and people who can actually run tournaments and run a small pool, and because we have the unprecedented amount of people that are coming to this tournament. Even if you ran just a local 16-man, 32-man tournament, you're fine because that's probably the size of the pools. So what we're going to do this year, which is crazy, we've never done this before, is we're actually going to have a tournament class to run tournaments on Thursday night, and we're going to bring people in and we're going to teach you the basics 101 on how to run an efficient tournament. So
it should be pretty simple.
Basically, we could use all of the help. We could use all the help we can get. Just if you want to sign up and do the pools, go on the forums and put a request in to Tony to be a tournament judge. And if you just want to help out, like unloading the truck when the TVs come in, sure. I mean, we're always open to help, and we love when the people load up the truck for us because we've worked hard all weekend. So, I mean, that's always a great thing for you guys to help out. But, I mean, as far as running the tournament, just sign up online, and then we'll cover you on Thursday night. So.
Wiz, I got a question for you. This one isn't for my benefit.
Wait. Let me.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know that I learned to play. I learned how to run tournaments from Sharyuken.com. Just that, like I said, I used to scour those articles, and there was one back in the day that I think Tom or Tony had written. So if you guys use that as the primer or whatever, I'm sure you can get it across. It's such a really good logical explanation of how the pools are supposed to go. I mean, how brackets are supposed to run, how floats go and everything like that. So you guys,
Right, but I mean, obviously we'll do a refresher course and we'll explain it in person. That way we can get your feedback and
yeah, definitely.
answer any questions you might have, and I think it will be pretty easy, straightforward from there.
Yeah. So, Adam, you were saying?
Yeah, this question is not for my benefit, it's just for maybe some of the newer listeners who might be listening. But, at a normal tournament, you go, there's a big bracket, you're in it, you play your matches, you're done. But, with EVO, you're in a pool. So can you just tell them what a pool is?
All right, a pool is actually a set of matches that actually, it's like a smaller bracket. So instead of running a huge, like, let's say 1,024-man double elimination bracket, it's actually split up this year into 24 separate brackets. So that we have smaller people and we don't lose track of people. And so we have stations that will be like Station 1 through Station 24. And on the website and before the tournament, you'll be assigned a station at a time. And I believe this year we're doing 2 sets of station. I mean, this could all change, but we're doing a morning set and an afternoon set. So if you're in the morning set, you have to be there at 9 a.m. and you'll report to a certain station. Maybe it's Station 3. And when you check in there, that means you're there. And if you stay in that station until you've actually either lost twice or you've been told that you've actually qualified to the semifinal bracket. You do not go anywhere else. So once either one of those two situations happens, you stay put or you will be disqualified. I mean, you walk away, you go to the bathroom, take a smoke break, get food, and it's not okay by anything, they will disqualify you. We tried it last year, and it worked flawlessly. We ran extremely on time. So it's going to run exactly the same way. We don't call names over the microphone anymore. You have to stay in your area, do not walk away, and you'll be fine.
I don't think he's saying you can't go to the bathroom. I think he's just saying you better ask permission
Right.
of your pool's orchestra, your pool's
Right.
director before you go to the bathroom and make it fast.
Yeah, just ask him, is my match coming up anytime soon? And if he says yes, then you just hold it. If it's not, if he says, you got maybe 10, 15 minutes, then sure, run to the bathroom and don't dilly-dally. Like, go to the bathroom and come back really fast. So, I mean, it's pretty basic, straightforward.
Yeah, just, your pool, sit there and play your pool. There's a lot of people, so you don't have necessarily like the luxuries that you would have at another tournament. But what you do know is that your
And
pool is.
Here's a top secret tip. Also, I mean, if you want to watch, I mean, when you're in your pool, you get to watch your opponents play.
Yeah.
So I mean, you get to pick up on strategy that. I mean, if you're watching maybe your next round match, you can find out what they're doing and maybe think of a way to counter that. Study your opponent beforehand. I mean, walking away will just leaves you without the benefit of the doubt of paying attention to find out what's going on. Maybe you pick out.
Or you can just mash buttons.
Yeah, well, if you're the masher, then that's all your prerogative. So, I mean.
Well, Adam's a masher, so.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm like, he's near me, I'm going to press something.
So, MrWizard, what's your favorite game to watch at EVO? I know you said you like to play ST, but it's probably a little different when you watch it.
I'm going to get so much flack for when I say this. It's going to be unbelievable, but I loved watching Smash with items.
Oh,
shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I actually wish every game had items. I wish Super Turbo had items. Like, all of a sudden it'd be random. Invincible uppercut, grab the item, boom.
Should have had more items.
Sweet.
Hell yeah, DJ
But
needs
I
some
mean,
items.
That
Well,
actually was
Third Strike
actually
has
really
that
fun.
table you can hide behind.
In Third Strike, the Third Strike table is funny.
You can't see the footsies
yeah,
because she's
I mean-
behind the table.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, but I mean, I love watching games I don't know nothing about because they're actually fun to watch. And when you have an unknown factor, I mean, skill plays into Smash a lot, but I mean, when you randomize it just a little bit to where it could go either way and an item could change the tide of something,
Yeah.
it's actually a fun kind of, I mean, you'll always know that, say, Justin Wong is going to win Third Strike or something like that, where it's just like, it's predetermined because he's so good and the opponent is maybe not that good.
Yeah, except when when you're really good with those items or with Smash Brothers, you can totally control the items too. Is when it starts to get down to it, you start to bong the other guy up, and then you hit him. You can't pick up an item when somebody's got their foot in your ass, and those are the items.
Right, exactly.
They spawn on an interval, so it's cool. Like, it is random, and you don't know what's gonna happen. But like, there's still that part of the game where you can control it too.
It's not completely random,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's random to a degree.
Totally. Like, it's sweet too, though. I mean, it's like you said, where it's just like a little bit. Just to the point where it's gonna throw something in there. It's not gonna be crazy, but it can be enough to change the tide. But it's gotta be. It's not like set in stone. It's pretty
This is just me
Right.
tooting my own horn a little bit, but like the whole community was like, I can't believe you guys are letting the Hammer and Gold Hammer be unbanned in that tournament. And I rewatched the finals, and 3 out of 3 people who
gonna go ahead and say goodnight. Ben?
Yo.
Say goodnight to the people, thanks.
Oh, hey, good night, people.
Yeah. Because Ben.
Well said. Well said.
And hello, it's Ski Sonic. If you haven't heard, I'm sorry to inform you, but the MP3 for my show, my broadcast on June 22nd, did get corrupted in the process of recording. So there are no backups for me to restore, and that last 1 hour of it is lost forever. So what I just wanted to do was give a quick recap of the things that transpired in that last 1 hour, if you don't mind. We did hit a couple of interesting points, so I do want to make sure that those that didn't get to hear it live don't miss out. Continuing on the topic of EVO with MrWizard, I asked him who his favorite player to watch was, someone who he always roots for whom he always roots. And he went with Alex Valle, one of the classic West Coast legends. He cited his balls to the wall style, mentioned how Alex is seemingly always counted out every year, but manages to turn it on for the big show, and how he's top 8 every year. And it's, definitely an interesting choice, a great choice. Classic choice in many ways, but MrWizard is West Coast, and Mr. Valle's name is Cali Power for a reason. I went on to ask him who among maybe the lesser names, someone who we don't maybe get to see top 8 every year, and he told me that being the director of the tournament, he is very busy, doesn't get to see a lot of the earlier rounds, but someone who he also loves to watch is Bucktooth. And Bucktooth, definitely a smart player, very clever player, thoughtful player. Someone who really understands the game. All the games, really. He puts on a good show, always puts on a good fight. He's very good at utilizing his character's strengths, so his fights are always fun to watch. Can't remember exactly what MrWizard said, but take those things about Bucktooth with you. I did ask him something, or maybe a few things, fun things to do at EVO outside of the games, for those who haven't been there, or for those who might be perhaps bringing a guest. And MrWizard gave us kind of a full little rundown of things to do there in Vegas. He mentioned how he is going to be taking in a show with I think maybe James Chen and John Choi. They're going to a Cirque du Soleil, and there's tons of other shows that you can take in out there. Obviously comedians, magicians. He mentioned the roller coaster on the Strip that can take you from casino to casino, and something that I wasn't even thinking of, but a number of really great places to eat out in Las Vegas. Off the top of my head, I don't know any, but I'm uncultured. Actually, there's maybe a little bit uncultured, but Mandalay Bay Burger Bar just mentioned to me from someone who works out in Vegas. Burger Bar at the Mandalay Bay has $40 or $50 burgers, Kobe beef burgers, and all types of other succulent, exotic beefs that you want a burger made from for you to eat. Anyway, tons of great places to eat, including the Mandalay Bay Burger Bar, places inside of casinos, and I'm sure more, so check out that. And obviously gambling if you're 21, Las Vegas mainstay, and go out there and make your trip for free, hopefully. That's the goal, right? I asked MrWizard what might be in store for EVO, and mentioned as possibilities regional tournaments. We're bringing back regionals, like we've had in the past, or perhaps satellite tournaments like World Series of Poker, where you can play for a small amount of money, but win a chance into the bigger tournament and have many of them, or perhaps even something crazy like online qualifications. His response was essentially that EVO was open to many of these things and perhaps more, and it's really about what you guys, the players, want to see from EVO. And if you mention those things on the forums, and the demand is there, then they will consider, most of these things. So if you got some ideas, don't be afraid to go out there and put them on the forums. A few other things I discussed with him. A question from the IRC room was about volunteers for Evolution. Hopefully this wasn't mentioned on the broadcast already, but quick recap about that is the main thing they're looking for right now is experienced tournament runners to be judges for one of the mini tournaments or one of the mini pools for the mini tournaments that will be at EVO. So if you have run some tournaments before and you're interested in being a judge, then sign up on charyukin.com. There's a thread in the EVO forums with a link to email, I think, Tony Cannon. Otherwise, even if you haven't run any tournaments before, then there will be a crash course on Thursday night. So if you get there by Thursday and you want to run a tournament, you want to run a pool, judge a pool, then you can still sign up, take a little course, and they will teach you what's up, teach you the ropes. And you'll be able to run a pool effortlessly, and you'll be able to go back home and run more tournaments whenever you want. Hopefully you'll even be able to draw brackets by hand. You never know. You might learn something. Otherwise, if you want to help out setting up Thursday and you're there in the morning and you can lift a few heavy things, then sure, report up, and someone will probably hand you a couple of heavy things to carry around. We talked about the EVO stream for this year. Basically its existence. It does exist, it will exist. MrWizard guaranteed that there would be expert commentary, so for anyone who had a complaint or who has been, unsatisfied with the quality of the past podcast or the past live streams with commentary that may have been a little bit lacking on the technical side, look out for the EVO stream and you probably be a little bit happier. We talked about this actually for a little while. Mentioned an idea of using the multiple big screens that are usually out at EVO for displaying more than one game instead of just mirroring the same image on the side, which is what's usually done. And MrWizard seemed fairly open to that one too. He mentioned again that if we make these kinds of suggestions on the forums, then they'll definitely see what they can do. So if they have that kind of that ability when they get there, then they might be able to do that. Otherwise, he wasn't able to mention specifics about the company that would be broadcasting, but did say to expect some high quality. I did even mention something along the lines of the ESPN style playoff cameras, where I don't know if you guys have seen. It's really cool. They'll have actually maybe 4 different types of cameras available at once, and you can switch through them as well as get one view of all 4 of the cameras at once. So it kind of like splits it in a split screen, like GoldenEye or Mario Kart or any of those, Nintendo 64 games or whatever. Console 4-player game split. This is pretty dope. So hopefully they can have that kind of ability enabled this year, and we'll see something like that. But if not, something more traditional, definitely better than nothing. So we'll definitely see something, and expect really good commentary. An issue brought up at recent tournaments is a ranking system for Street Fighter players. Now it seems like maybe a possibility, since there's so many new players, a new game, so many players, and the demand for it has kind of come up. You did mention Apex, the past ranking system that was used on Shoryuken, and did its job for a couple of years there. Wizard said that maybe a return to a ranking system like this was something that we might see in the future for Shoryuken, but again, we would have to see the demand. So post it up on the forums, or we kind of spent some time talking about maybe possible alternatives for the Apex system, because he did say that there's a big problem with the Apex system, or a number of problems in it. There are people in isolated areas who can't get to as many tournaments, or as many tournaments with as many people. There are definitely the problems with Apex, the obvious problems that present themselves, and we discussed a few couple different counterbalances or tweaks to the system that might be possibilities. So if you guys do have your ideas about a system or tweaks to Apex, or you want to see Apex or anything like that, then post it somewhere where people can see it. It's not gonna really cut it if you just post a response in my thread, although I do appreciate that. It's not really gonna do anything as far as furthering the cause for ranking system. I mean, don't be afraid to put it out there if you want people to see it, and don't be afraid if it seems like people aren't listening, how to speak. You'll get their attention, but go put it somewhere somebody can see it. Maybe the EVO forum right now would be a good place, or I don't know, fighting game discussion, and find some way to notify MrWizard, perhaps through a private message. Other mods, make them aware. These things will go along the line. Just get those ideas out there, and don't bury them. So a ranking system, within the idea of the ranking system was a tournament tracker that Keits brought up. Very good idea, as far as maybe some software or a page, something that you could go to that would present to you tournaments that are in your area, upcoming tournaments. So you would be able to punch in your address, maybe your zip code, and this tournament tracker would spit out to you the tournaments that are going to be upcoming in your area for maybe next month, 6 months or something. The games, maybe you can say you want MVC2 tournaments, and it'll filter those. And that seemed like a really cool idea, and I kind of tacked on to that. I've been thinking about something where you could find tournament results, and this would go perfectly with that. You would be able to even search backwards, check out the tournaments that have happened in the past. So this kind of ties back into the Apex, where it would definitely require some participation on the parts of tournament organizers to register their tournaments, and they would have to register their tournament results. But since this is absent from the idea of points, then it sort of alleviates the problem with the honesty. Since it's not for points, people aren't going to be grubbing for points, then you'll probably get a little bit more honesty, a little bit more truth in the tournament results that are coming up. So, sounds like the tournament tracking system might be a really good idea too, and we should post about it and see where we could go with that. I think that would sound really cool as like an iPhone app or like a mobile app in some way. Then you could actually be on your cell phone, your smartphone, and it's Saturday, and you're this isn't gonna matter in a bunch of places, but maybe if you're in New York, or maybe this would be the springboard to that type of thing. There's 3 tournaments this weekend. You want to know where you're going to be going, and it'll map out which one's closest to you. They have little maybe like color-coded something, let you know which game is what. Or otherwise, maybe you're a tourist, and you're in, I don't know, Akihabara. I have to see it written. Right. Or maybe you're in Manchester or something, and you just want to know where the tournaments are going to be for the next month, and you just pull out your little iPhone, put in that zip code, and you're good. So tournament tracker seemed like a really good idea. And he mentioned, I know I've been doting on, put it on the forums. He explicitly said the reason why Sharyuken needs you to post these things on the forums, because I said, we're suggesting them to you right now. Wizard, come on, let these, let's get it going. Let's get the tournament tracker. I'll be on the team. And he says, we need time to look at these and process them and weigh their options on our own time. And they're busy planning EVO for a lot of the year anyway. So if we put it on the forums, then they can read them at 1 o'clock in the morning while they're eating Captain Crunch and some McRibs or something really crazy, and like some milk, some orange juice, French toast, whatever, at their own pace. So put those things on the forums and don't necessarily rush them, but follow up. You guys know, it's kind of like searching for a job, but not nearly as serious. Just don't be something. I think maybe the last thing I have for you guys about EVO, if this hasn't been mentioned on the podcast prior, sorry to say that the Evolution Tatsunoko vs. Capcom tournament is canceled, the Invitational. Unfortunately, the game hasn't really lived up to the hype. Lived up to the amount of hype necessary to be on the big screen at EVO, which I can understand. I don't think I've seen too many 64-man TVC tournaments even anywhere, so to have a 64-man invitational, there's going to be a side tournament. So while rocking it on that big screen with the Waffle Bot might be a dream that some may have, it will have to be deferred for now. But what happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry out like a raisin in the sun? Anyway, to replace the canceled Tatsunoko vs. Capcom event, perhaps an Iron Man style event of some sorts where a top player, like a Justin Wong, or maybe more top players, multiple top players, I don't know, they get up on stage, people challenge them, maybe you buy tickets or something, you win a game, you win some prizes, you lose, maybe you win some candy or something, and somewhere in this whole equation, homeless people get paid food or money, which is sweet, so that sounds cool or something. So enter that TVC side tournament because I know somebody's running it, and check out this other thing that may be springing up soon. MrWizard did confirm also that Daigo is confirmed for Evolution, if that one hasn't been mentioned. Yes, he is, and he can bring a friend, and we don't know who his friend is. That was most of the EVO news. I'm sure that sounded very official. Other than that, we mainly discussed Street Fighter 4, because this is AlphaISM Radio, and we like to keep it Street Fighter. So I asked him a few questions about Street Fighter 4, who was his main character. He told me he's working with Rufus and Seth right now. I told him he's cheap, because he is. He told me that he likes Seth. He feels that Seth's pretty strong against Ryu, or he's having a good time with that fight, and that's patching up the hole that he had maybe with Rufus and Ryu in the past. So Seth and Rufus' team is working out well for him, and maybe thinking of adding someone to deal with Sagat, as he feels that that character is still pretty strong and doesn't really have much of an edge, going along with his playstyle of trying to get in there and do something to you. You usually would like a little crutch in that endeavor. And he told me that one of his comfortable fights was Rufus and Rog, Rufus versus Balrog, so he feels like he's got a little bit of that edge in that fight just because he knows it so well. Interesting opinions from a legendary Street Fighter player and organizer and all-around guy. So look out for MrWizard at EVO. Buy him a drink, bring him a drink. Nothing else interesting happened on my show except Leraldo, Capcom's own Leraldo, Baldo Faldo, did send out a marriage proposal to Ebonix. So, if you know the happy couple, congratulate them for me. Aside from that, I got nothing. So, my co-hosts Adam, Keits, and Ben, they said goodnight. I want to say goodnight, but I want to say thanks to everyone who was on the show. That's Wizard, Brandon, Havoc, Adam, Keits, and Benjamin Bunkei, the man who made it all happen. And definitely very especially special thanks to you for listening and downloading this and listening to this recap all the way through. Because that says you really love Street Fighter. Because I do too, and that's why I'm talking about it. So, one thing I forgot. What Keits was talking about when the MP3 broke off, the mallets in Smash Brothers Brawl that appeared in EVO at the top 8 of the finals last year. All three of the times the mallet appeared and someone grabbed it, the person that grabbed it got fucked for it. Even the time the guy got the gold hammer. And people cried about, oh, you're gonna put the mallets in, I can't believe you're putting those in. And we said, oh, don't worry about it, they suck. And we wished more items would be in it. MrWizard said he loved items. He wishes items were in Super Turbo. Yeah, that's right. So, thanks for listening. Stay tuned for my next show, which should be coming out here whenever I get a chance. And it'll be guest starring whoever gets on it. But I won't. stay tuned for the next All Bunk coming at you probably before the next AlphaISM. Enjoy yourself.
Enjoy yourself. Get your drink on. Get your party on. It could be worse, it could be worse, it could be worse. Get your drink on. Get your party on. What could be worse? What could be worse? Get your drink on. Get your party on. It could be worse, it could be worse, it could be worse. Hold on, fellas. Hey, check this out, y'all. My homeboy, right? He stayed over his homegirl house, right? Ain't nothing happened. They were just reminiscing. You believe me, right?